Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Everyone, sign up for the profession of Sword Immortal, open heaven with one sword. Chapter 21. Yi Qing felt a terrible sense of crisis. But there is no panic at all, time pauses. Everything around him stopped, and Gui Han didn't know when he came behind Yi Qing. The sword was only a few centimeters away from Yi Qing's back. Baby, please turn around. Yi Qing directly stuffed the phantom potion into his mouth, illusion sword technique. 10 flying swords struck Gui Han rapidly. The flying sword ignored the black armor and struck Gui Han. If it weren't for the terrifying effect of the sword's transparent heart, Yi Qing felt like he couldn't break through the defense at all. Minus 10,815. Times 10. A series of injuries appeared. A magic sword technique actually caused nearly 2.4 million damage. The 10 flying swords continued to chop. Calculating the damage, Yi Qing felt that killing him shouldn't be a big problem. Just when Gui Han reached 30% of his health, it seemed that some skill was triggered, the mana was suddenly cleared, and the blood was returned to full. Yi Qing was not surprised at all, this might be a boost skill or something. But if this continues, he may not be able to be killed within 30 seconds. The art of handling swords and the art of drawing swords. The cooling time of the phantom sword technique is up. The spirit snake sword split into 9 phantom swords and continues to slash at Gui Han crazily. Suddenly, the spirit snake sword shattered into pieces and had no durability. A mighty sword appeared in Yi Qing's hand. Fortunately, this sword was not fed to the immortal killing gourd. It's just a few seconds of delay in changing the sword, and the time pause is about to end. Draw the sword and make a final slash. Yi Qing disappeared instantly and was teleported to another place in the copy. In the main hall, Gui Han's voice sounded, and he was very angry. "Ant, how could such a weak ant hurt me?" But despite his rage, he has not left the building, as if he is guarding something. At the outermost edge of the copy, Yi Qing's figure appeared. He sighed. "I didn't expect that at the most critical moment, the sword would break. If it hadn't taken a while to change the sword, the dungeon boss would have been dead by now." Yi Qing was lying on a huge rock. He had killed all the monsters here long ago, and it would take some time for the monsters to refresh. Looking at the bright moonlight and the stars, he held a blue spirit fruit in his hand and started eating it. Thinking about everything after rebirth and some things before. The Abyss is currently one of the most terrifying dungeons in Blue Star. Just a few monsters coming out of it are terrifyingly powerful. Unexpectedly, members of the Abyss Ghost clan would appear here. No wonder the 2 major families in the previous life paid such a high price to kill this dungeon boss. In his previous life, he might have been afraid of causing panic. Yi Qing didn't know that this dungeon boss was from the Ghost clan. Lying on the rock until dawn, Yi Qing planned to wait until the power of space and time was refreshed at 12 o'clock in the evening. Go kill that Ghost clan again. The benefits obtained by killing a legendary boss are huge, which is definitely much better than clearing an ordinary copy. On the rock, Yi Qing took out 2 items, the core of the Ghost Willow King and the poison sac of the Death Spider. The Death Spider is definitely the most unjust legendary boss to die. He was trapped in a large formation and couldn't move, and he also encountered Yi Qing, a cheater. However, this does not mean that the Death Spider is not strong. It has been trapped for 300 years and still has such strength. It can only be said that the time pause is too outrageous, even if it is only 30 seconds. Yi Qing started to make poison, and he planned to use the core of Ghost Willow King first. Otherwise it would be bad if it failed. While making poison, the production failed, and the core of Ghost Willow King was damaged. Yi Qing quickly took out the poison sac of the Death Spider, making poison. Successful production. Obtain the Death Poison, Legendary. Death Poison, Legendary. The poison of the Death Spider will cause you to fall into a highly poisonous state, reducing your blood volume by 0.5% per second for 60 seconds. Note: it can take effect below level 80 in epic level bosses. Looking at the properties of the poison, Yi Qing was overjoyed. The certainty of killing Gui Han is even greater, but unfortunately the spirit snake sword was broken and damaged, and now there is no good sword to use. The monsters around him were not refreshed at all, making it impossible for Yi Qing to level up. Yi Qing spent the entire day wandering around the Meteor Plateau, enjoying a rare moment of leisure. But even so, Yi Qing's level is still far ahead, and other students can't catch up for several months. At 1 o'clock in the morning, Yi Qing stepped on the mighty sword and flew towards the center of the dungeon. This time, he had to clear the dungeon and was delayed here for too long. In the strange building, Wei Han's eyes were cold. "Ant, you still dare to come? This time, I will send you on your way." He didn't waste any time, grabbed the sword beside him and disappeared instantly. Yi Qing didn't panic at all. He had previously activated the sword heart transparency. Time is paused. "Baby, please turn around." At this time, Wei Han was only 2 meters away from Yi Qing, and the tip of his sword was almost piercing Yi Qing. Yi Qing's mighty sword flew out from his hand, illusion sword technique. A series of injuries appeared above Wei Han's head. The art of sword drawing. The mighty sword has already been smeared with poison. Plus various sword light and sword mark damage. Wei Han's blood volume dropped to 30%, his blue volume was cleared, and his blood volume returned to full. Yi Qing had already anticipated this situation. 30 seconds later, the flow of time resumed. Wei Han fell down unwillingly and his eyes widened. "You ant, how could you possibly kill me?" Wei Han died completely, there was a big explosion, and equipment was everywhere. Yi Qing looked at the series of messages on the property panel. Kill the level 40 legendary boss and gain 1.5 million experience points. The boss of the instance has died and the instance will be closed after 600 seconds. Yi Qing didn't have time to check the properties of these items. All of them were directly received into the Immortal killing gourd. Seeing that the armor Wei Han was wearing and the long sword in his hand did not disappear, he also took them off. Received in the Immortal killing gourd. Yi Qing looked at the throne, thoughtfully wondering why Wei Han didn't leave the hall. Could it be that he was protecting this thing? Lost an advanced detection technique. Space coordinates of the Ghost Clan. The coordinates of the Ghost Clan in the abyss. The coordinates absorb enough power and can be turned into a space channel. Yi Qing slashed out with his sword, and a sword light split the throne. Completely destroy the spatial coordinates. Take out a stone egg from the Immortal killing gourd. Place on the ground. He took out a short knife, cut his palm, and let the blood drip on the stone egg. At this time, in the wilderness area, meteor showers fell from the sky, and countless strange white lights shone in all directions. Even covering the entire Tianan province, everyone is watching this beautiful vision. What is this? It's so beautiful. It looks like the light is coming from the wilderness area. Could something have happened? That's impossible. There's no movement. Could it be that some treasure was born and caused strange phenomena in the world? In the Zhongbei City formation, on the towering city wall, all the guards looked very alert. An old man who looked a little hunchback walked out from behind. Go to 10 scout teams to investigate the situation. Yes. In the Situ family, the head of the Situ family looked at the sky with deep eyes. Come here, go explore the wilderness area. This may be some kind of treasure. Our Situ family is bound to get it. Several black figures transformed into human forms and came to the head of the Situ family. They were all wearing masks and could not see their faces clearly. After everyone nodded, they turned into black shadows and disappeared into the darkness. The same is true for the Nangong family. Zhongbei City is the closest, and all the big forces have sent people to investigate. The big forces in other cities have also set their sights on the wilderness outside Zhongbei City. There are no surprises in this area. There will be chaos in the next period of time. Zhongbei City, a nice-looking house. A young man woke up suddenly, gasping for air. I feel like I've lost something important. Could it be a dream? At this time, Yi Qing, who had caused all the strange phenomena in the world, had already used teleportation to return to the rental house. Looking at the cute pet on the table, a white fox the size of a palm with 9 tails raised. There was an imperceptible softness in Yi Qing's indifferent eyes. 9-tailed sky fox myth, can grow level 0. Basic attributes, strength, 100. Agility, 100. Intelligence, 200. Constitution, 100. Special attributes, charm, 200. Lucky, 200. Talent, 9-tailed destiny. 9-tailed destiny myth, when receiving fatal damage, you can give up 1 tail to resist the fatal damage. Each tail plus 100% basic attributes. Skills, charm, phantom eyes, sky fox fire, sharing, loyalty. Charm LV1 can charm all monsters with lower charm attributes than oneself, and these monsters can be manipulated at will. Phantom Eyes LV1 can create an illusion field, causing the illusion to be real. People or monsters caught in the illusion will have their blood volume drop rapidly, reducing their blood volume by 300 points per second, lasting 60 seconds, and the cooling time is 300 seconds. Sky Fox Fire LV1 no cooling, can spray green flames, and the attack power causes 120% damage. Sharing. All basic attributes will be shared with the owner, and the basic attributes are attached to the owner's attributes. Loyalty. Never betray and never give up. Passive skills. Spiritual illusion, Sun and Moon technique, Spirit Fox body. Spiritual illusion technique. It can blend into the surrounding environment, and can also transform any object. Its charm attribute is lower than its own and cannot be detected. Sun and Moon technique. Can absorb the essence of the sun and moon and increase experience. Body of the Spirit Fox. When receiving damage, it recovers 1% of the blue volume and blood volume every second. When it is full, the owner recovers 1% of the blue volume and blood volume every second. Special effects skill, Qingqiu Blessing, has two special effects, Fox Shadow and Sky Fox. Fox Shadow. When in danger, you can create a clone to absorb the damage instead of yourself, and the movement speed is plus 300%. Tianyu. You need to grow to level 10 before you can open it. Yi Qing looked at the little fox's attributes. It was only level 0, but its attributes were so powerful. The innate skill Nine-Tailed Destiny can increase attributes by 9 times. Even with a level 20 boost, Yi Qing estimated that this little fox could kill it alone, and most importantly, this shared skill was incredible. No wonder that person in his previous life was only an A-level potential professional, but later on he was able to compete with SSS-level professionals. A blue spirit fruit appeared in Yi Qing's hand and he handed it to the little fox's mouth. Unexpectedly, it actually started to eat. This time, the meteor plateau was very fruitful, and Yi Qing gained a total of 1.5 million experience points. Directly upgrade 2 levels in a row. You have reached level 15. Please change jobs as soon as possible, otherwise you will not be able to gain experience. Sign-in system. 1.87 million, 1 million. None of the remaining experience was wasted, it was all stored in the sign-in system. But there was no rush to sign in. Instead, take out the harvest from the meteor plateau. Ghost Scroll Epic. The Ghost Clan's strongest combat skills are sealed inside. Yaoi Armor Legendary can be worn at level 40. Night Demon Sword Legendary can be worn at level 40. Ghost Dominance Legendary skill can be learned. Death Resistance Legendary skill can be learned. Ghost Core Legendary can strengthen equipment 3 times, with a success rate of over 98%. Abyss Voucher Special Item. With this thing, you can enter the Abyss Dungeon. Yahuwah Potion Legendary. After use, the attack power increases by 180%, lasting 90 seconds. Yi Qing looked at these things and found that most of them were unusable. It's still early to go to the Abyss Dungeon. If you don't reach level 200, going to the Abyss is just asking for death. After putting away some things, there were only a few skill scrolls and ghost cores left on the table. Yi Qing took off the poisonous spider mask. The most enhanced and improved equipment at present was this piece of equipment. It was the only piece of legendary equipment that could be worn. Most of the others are not of sufficient level. Strengthen 3 times. Do you want to enable it? Enhancement is successful. All basic attributes of the poisonous spider mask are plus 90, and skill attack power plus 3%. After the enhancement was successful, Yi Qing put on the ghost spider mask, equipped with the evil mist sword and the green bracelet, and his attributes were further improved. Start looking at the properties of several skill scrolls. Death Resistance Legendary. When the blood volume is lower than 30%, the mana will be cleared instantly and returned to full health. Within 10 seconds, 35% of the mana volume will be restored. Ghost Overlord Body Legend. The body of the ghost is extremely powerful, and its combat power is astounding. After using it, the body transforms into a ghost, abandoning the human bloodline, and gaining amazing attributes. Yi Qing frowned as he looked at the properties of the Ghost Clan's hegemonic body. It's better to store this thing. Maybe it can be used in the future. Learning the legendary skill of resisting death is a life-saving skill, and Yi Qing doesn't want it too little. There is one last scroll on the table, the Ghost Scroll. Yi Qing tried to open it and received a prompt: only those of the royal bloodline among the Ghost clan can open it. Wei Han should not be qualified to get this scroll. He is not from the royal family at all. Could it be that he stole it from the Ghost clan? Yi Qing muttered to himself. The royal bloodline among the Ghost clan is extremely rare, but each one is so powerful that they can walk sideways even in the abyss. The Ghost Tribe Tyrant Body and the Ghost Tribe Scroll appeared in Yi Qing's hands, holding one in each hand, his eyes full of thoughts. Could these two things be used together? Without any hesitation, he put the two scrolls into the immortal killing gourd. He disdains the use of the strength gained by betraying the human race. He is a cheating man. Turn on the sign-in system. I have enough experience. Do you want to start signing in? Yi Qing chose to start signing in. Sign in successfully. Get. Sign in successfully and obtain the only hidden profession, ancient physical training. Whether to integrate and start a third career. Yi Qing looked at the system prompts and realized that the only disadvantage of integrating such a hidden profession was that there was too much movement. Zhongbei City is in troubled times now. The sign-in system seemed to be aware of Yi Qing's thoughts. The anomaly can be turned off. Suddenly, a system prompt appears. Publish a task and win the top spot in the National College Entrance Examination. You will be rewarded with one chance to sign in. You can refuse. There will be no penalty for failure. Yi Qing looked at another column of the sign-in system. Sign-in chances 87 over 1 million. Fortunately, those experiences have not disappeared. Yi Qing directly accepted the task. With his own attributes, it would be easy to get the top spot in the college entrance examination. Even if there is an accident and you don't get the top score in the college entrance examination, there will be no punishment. This system is quite good. On the side, the little fox ate an entire blue spirit fruit and became a little sleepy. After all, he is just born. No matter how strong his attributes are, he is still in his infancy. Yi Qing placed the little fox on the bed. Would you like to give you a name? Xiaoju, Xiaobai. Forget it, it's too troublesome. Let's call her Bai Xinger, and her nickname will be Xiaobai. Looking at the little fox, which is only the size of a palm, its eyes are sleepy and it is still barking. Yi Qing chose to integrate the third profession, ancient physical training. Successful fusion, constitution plus 150, strength plus 150, speed plus 150, blood volume above the line plus 5000, mana volume above the line plus 5000. Awakening talent skill, prehistoric holy body, comprehensive skills, invincible divine fist, sky-stepping footwork. Passive skill, invulnerable to the body. Special effect skill, invincible heart. Yi Qing opened his properties panel. Professional, Yi Qing. Level 15. Occupation, sword immortal, ancient physical cultivator, actor. Sub-professional, death poisoner. HP, 14,900 14,900ths. Blue amount, 15,000 50 15,000 50ths. Physical attack, 2,165. Magic attack, 2,130. Strength, 230 plus 690. Intelligence, 115 plus 890. Agility, 215 plus 755. Physique, 215 plus 775. Special attributes, charm, 55. Lucky, 56 plus 3. Talents, power of time and space. Sword Heart Transparency SSS level, Ancient Holy Body SSS level, Acting D level. Prehistoric Holy Body. After opening, the blood burning effect will be activated, all attributes will be plus 1500%, and 1% of blood will be dropped every second, lasting 300 seconds. Skills. Sword Controlling Technique LV3, Sword Drawing Technique LV4, Illusion Sword Technique LV2, Invincible Divine Fist LV1, Sky Stepping Footwork LV1, Death Resistance, Advanced Exploration Technique. Sword Controlling Skill LV3, each attack causes 170% damage, can control 2 flying swords, the critical hit rate increases by 25%, and the distance increases by 30 meters. Sword drawing technique LV4 consumes 20 mana points to create a circular sword energy with a radius of 20 meters, causing 560% damage, and the cooling time is 4 seconds. Illusion sword technique LV2 consumes 6% mana, can transform into 15 flying swords, attack power plus 140%, lasts 8 seconds, cools down for 10 seconds. Invincible divine fist LV1 no consumption, no cooldown, 120% damage caused when punching, unlimited charge, the longer the time, the higher the damage caused. Skywalking footwork LV1 there is no life or death. When rushing towards the enemy, the speed is increased by 50%, the defense is increased by 50%, and the attack is increased by 50%. Passive skills. Man and sword merge into one, copper skin and iron bones, invulnerable body. Invulnerable body. All damage taken is reduced by 75%. Special effects skills. 1 sword of light and cold 19 continents, sword marks, sword light. Invincible heart. Every time you kill a monster, attack power plus 1%, can be stacked 900 times, and the burst time is 120 seconds. Equipment. Evil mist sword, poison spider suit, wraith necklace, puppet ring, green bracelet, immortal killing gourd, phantom mirror. Yi Qing looked at the ancient physical training skills. They were really fierce, but they were all desperate moves. Looking at the attributes of the ancient holy body, Yi Qing looked at Xiaobai who was sleeping soundly on the bed. If it is beside Xiaobai, the ancient holy body can be said to be completely consumption-free, perfectly offsetting the negative effects. With his current attributes and skills, Yi Qing felt that he could fight Gui Han even without turning on the time pause. Seeing that it was still dark outside, Yi Qing suddenly felt sleepy. After several days of not sleeping, even though Yi Qing's physique was extremely strong, he was also mentally exhausted. Lying on the bed, fell into sleep. Just when Yi Qing was sleeping, there was a wilderness area in Zhongbei City. All major forces came to the rugged hills. There doesn't seem to be anything strange here. Are we looking in the wrong place? Impossible, absolutely impossible, the vision came from here. At this moment, someone in the distance exclaimed. This seems to be the entrance to some dungeon, and someone just cleared it. Everyone looked there. It seems that this copy is definitely not ordinary, and there may be some terrible secrets inside. We will camp here and wait for the dungeon to open. The head of the Situ family said loudly. On the other side, the head of the Nangong family looked here, thinking about something in his eyes. He said to the person behind him, go check the list of people leaving the city during this period, investigate this person, and try to win over him. Yes. The next night, in a rental house in a residential building. Yi Qing felt his cheeks become moist and his eyes suddenly opened. Seeing Xiao Bai beside him, Yi Qing turned on his phone directly. It was already 8:30 in the evening. Xiao Bai, are you hungry? Yi Qing took out 2 blue spirit fruits and put them aside, and the little fox started eating them. There are still 3 days left to register for the big exam. I don't know if it's too late to go to the Kanglanjiang dungeon. Yi Qing didn't care much about other things, but that exclusive weapon that could grow, Yi Qing was bound to get it. Suddenly, the cell phone dinged. Yi Qing checked his phone and saw that it was Lin Kui calling. Yi Zi, what have you been doing these days? Why can't you always make calls? Come out and have a drink, I'll treat you to our old place. Okay. Yi Qing hung up the phone and took a shower. Pick up the little fox directly and put it on your shoulders. Go outside. On summer nights, the evening breeze blows from time to time, making it particularly cool. Downstairs of a dilapidated residential building, there are tables in 2s and 3s. This is obviously a food stall. Lin Kui sat under a big tree and shouted inside, Boss, we are roasting 30 kidneys. My brother will be here in a minute. Okay. In the distance, Yi Qing walked slowly. He sat directly opposite Lin Kui and said, why are you so free? Aren't you tired from leveling? Hehe, let's balance work and rest. I reached level 5 today and will soon reach level 6. I also conquered the Wild Boar King. Tian'an University is stable. Lin Kui took a sip of beer and said with a smile. That's fine, but you should stay on campus during the 2 days of the college entrance examination. It would be bad if Situ Feng uses some dirty tricks against you. Yi Qing ate the meat skewers. Pass it to the little fox to take a bite. Xiaobai didn't mind it and ate it directly. Lin Kui looked at the little fox. Is this your pet? It's delicate, but it's too small. I like the majestic ones. Yi Qing was speechless. While the two were drinking and chatting, there was a strange movement not far away. The manhole cover of the sewer flew up high and landed on the ground with a loud sound. Yi Qing looked there, and a pair of green eyes appeared in the sewer. A monster actually crawled out of the sewer. A big rat, about 1 meter tall, stood there like a human and roared loudly. What's going on? It's not good. There's a monster. Quick, call the city guard quickly. Lin Kui stood up directly and said, if a monster dares to appear in front of my house, let me kill you. Lin Kui shouted, and light appeared under his feet. The wild boar king appeared and immediately rode up, holding a whiteboard spear in his hand and rushed forward. Yi Qing frowned slightly. It seemed that he had caused some changes. Lost a probe spell. Ratman. Level 10. HP. 700. Attack 85. Defense 90. Skills. Bite, claws. But this is a residential area, and there should be no such monsters at all. Surrounded by ordinary residents, life professionals have no fighting power at all. The residents who were still eating quickly retreated, but some brave ones looked back from time to time. A poisonous spider mask appeared on Yi Qing's face, covering his face. Not using any skills, just walking forward. A sword mark appeared under his feet, instantly killing the rat man fighting Lin Kui. Lin Kui came to Yi Qing and his eyes widened. How is that possible? Are you not a professional in life? Yi Qing said calmly, I will explain to you later and put these equipment on. After speaking, he threw a complete set of blue equipment to Lin Kui. It's not that Yi Qing doesn't give more advanced ones, it's that Lin Kui doesn't have the equipment. Lin Kui was not polite. Hey, then I'll accept it. Just put on a piece of equipment. Under the sewers, rat men are still emerging. Yi Qing gently touched Xiaobai. Show me your skills. Xiaobai screamed, very cute. All the rat men around them stopped moving for an instant, as they were being controlled by the charm. As long as the monster is less charming than Xiaobai, it can be controlled. Lin Kui, who was still fighting with the rat man, let out a light sigh. Hey, why don't you move? Watch me blow your anus. Lin Kui thrust out the spear in his hand, and a critical hit appeared on the top of the rat man's head, causing him to die immediately. As Yi Qing walked, sword marks flew out, and he killed all the rat men in just a dozen steps. Lin Kui came to Yi Qing's side. It's too strong, it seems you will have to protect me from now on. Okay. Yi Qing directly threw some equipment to Lin Kui, ranging from level 10 to level 35. There are many purple and rare equipments among them. Lin Kui was dazzled and said bitterly, this is too expensive. I'm afraid I won't be able to pay it back in the future. Yi Qing smiled calmly, it's okay. If you can't afford it, you don't have to pay it back. I still have something to do tonight, so you should go back first. Okay. Lin Kui looked blankly at Yi Qing's retreating back and murmured to himself, don't worry, I will repay you even more in the future. Yi Qing felt happy in his heart. When he was in poverty in his previous life, Lin Kui smashed the money frame hard and gave him some top-quality equipment that he could wear without any level. This time, he planned to help Lin Kui when he was weak. Let him spend the early stage better. Yi Qing's figure disappeared into the darkness. In a dilapidated house on the outskirts of Zhongbei City, there are several figures wearing black clothes and white masks. Jia smiled strangely. The attention of all the big forces has been attracted by the vision in the wilderness. Let's take advantage of this opportunity to cause a scene. That's right, try to kill as many people as possible to make our Abyss Society's reputation even louder. At this moment, Yi Qing's figure appeared on the wall in the distance. Looking at the crazy figures inside, he sighed in his heart, sure enough, some things have changed. I tried my best to keep the direction the same as in the previous life, but I didn't expect that I still had a butterfly reaction. These are members of the Abyss Society. They believe in the Abyss and gain strength from the Abyss. It usually hides in the crowd and is extremely difficult to find. The evil mist sword appeared in Yi Qing's hand, opening the sword's heart and the ancient holy body. The attributes suddenly increased a lot. The flying sword flew out from his hand. Baby, please turn around. Illusion sword technique. 15 flying swords flew towards those crazy figures, and a series of shadows appeared behind them. Under the special effects of the sword shadow, these people were stunned for 0.5 seconds. Minus 450,920. These are all level 50 professionals, and they can all be killed within 1 second. There was still a look of astonishment and unwillingness in their eyes. At this time, all the rats in Zhongbei City screamed and exploded. Yi Qing entered the house and inspected the bodies of these people. They are so poor, they don't even have a lord powder. Throw these equipment into the Immortal Killing Gourd and feed them directly to the Immortal Killing Gourd. At this time, the repair rate of the Immortal Killing Gourd has reached 1%. At this moment, a prompt came from the Properties panel. The repair level of the Immortal Killing Gourd reaches 1%, and its attributes are improved. Immortal Killing Gourd repair value, 1%. Skill, Hu Zongtian. The internal space is expanded by 50%. Baby please turn around. Shouting baby please turn around will increase the attack power by 500% and last for 60 seconds. Let cool for 5 minutes. Immortal Killing Flying Knife. A sword light flies out from inside, locks on the target, ignores everything, causes 1800% damage, and has a cooldown time of 8 hours. Yi Qing looked at the improved attributes of the Immortal Killing Gourd. He only repaired 1% and improved so many attributes. There is also one more skill. Although the cooldown time is a bit long, if this skill is superimposed on all your skills, directly causing terrible harm. Yi Qing touched Xiaobai and said, "Burn these corpses." Xiaobai spit out several green fireballs from his mouth, directly burning these heretics to ashes. Yi Qing turned around and left here. The next morning, Yi Qing stretched himself and walked outside. Go to a store that sells equipment and plan to sell some equipment. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be able to afford the tickets to enter the Kanglanzhong dungeon. Sell some equipment and leave the equipment store. I saw an extra 9 million balance on the card. Most of the equipment was swallowed up by the Immortal Killing Gourd, leaving only a few pieces with decent attributes. I didn't expect the price to be pretty good. Listening to the chats of professionals coming and going all around. Have you heard? There is a professional war in the wilderness area of Zhongbei City, and the Situ family is fighting with families in other cities. Impossible. Those big families are so high up, what on earth can cause them to have large-scale battles? I guess it has something to do with the vision of the past 2 days, but some super powerful equipment was born. Yi Qing didn't respond and walked towards the Kanglan River copy. Although his strength is good now, he is still worse than those big families. When you have overwhelming strength, you can destroy the Situ family. There are 2 key things now, one is to obtain exclusive weapons, and the other is the issue of job transfer. Some hidden professions can only be changed by themselves. Yi Qing has not started the job transfer mission yet. Starting a job transfer mission requires some luck. The difficulty of job transfer tasks is different for everyone. Some professionals can successfully change jobs just by drinking water. Some professionals want to change jobs and need to fight epic bosses. Difficulty is completely random. Yi Qing sat down on a chair in the square, caressed Xiaobai, "Lend me some luck." His own luck attribute is not as high as Xiaobai's. Start job transfer task. Job transfer mission. Kill an epic boss, no level limit. Yi Qing caressed his forehead, "I'll go to the most difficult one." Killing the epic boss is not a big problem, Yi Qing is fully capable of that. However, bosses at this level are too rare. It is impossible to encounter ordinary copies. Rubbing his eyebrows, Yi Qing recalled something. Currently, there is no epic boss in the dungeon near Zhongbei City. It seems that the experience is stored in the sign-in system first and will not disappear anyway. The power obtained by signing in is not much worse than upgrading, but the disadvantage is that Yi Qing has not figured out the rules of signing in yet. Is it completely random, or can other professions be selected only by signing in? Stop thinking about this and rush towards the Kanglan River copy. The Kanglanzhong dungeon is located in the north of Zhongbei City. It is a dungeon that is completely integrated with reality. The lower reaches are inside the city defense formation and are a relatively safe zone. The upper reaches are outside the city defense formation and are extremely dangerous. In addition to the monsters in the Kanglan River dungeon, there may also be monsters in the wilderness area. Yi Qing arrived at the entrance of Kanglan River, where there was a huge flow of people. The rare equipment just released is cheap. The team lacks a priest, please bring one who is above level 30. Yi Qing walked among the crowd, and a poisonous spider mask appeared on his face. The Nangong family was so powerful that it surrounded the entire lower reaches of the Kanglan River. There were several beauties in uniform standing at the entrance, receiving every professional who entered the dungeon. Brother, do you want the water-repelling pill? It can be cheaper. At this moment, a beautiful woman walked up to Yi Qing. Yi Qing nodded, 20 pills first. I may stay in the Kanglanjong dungeon for a long time. Waterproofing pill green, you can move freely underwater without affecting combat effectiveness. The Nangong family directly monopolizes the market for water-resisting pills. Because there is a copy of Kanglanjong, they make a lot of money every year. The Situ family is only arrogant and domineering on the surface, but the power behind it is far less than that of the Nangong family, not to mention that the Nangong family in Zhongbei City is just a branch. The main family is in Kyoto and is a first-class family in the whole of Daxia. Hearing that Yi Qing bought so many water-resisting pills, the woman suddenly smiled and said, "Are you paying by credit card? Please follow me." When I came to a table not far away, the transaction was completed and I bought the tickets. Yi Qing watched as the balance dropped by 800,000 Daxia coins. Looking at the surging river in the distance, there are some wooden boats on the river, and some professionals are fighting monsters in the water. 2 flying swords appeared in Yi Qing's hands, the mighty sword fell directly to his feet, and the sword took off. Flying directly towards the Kanglan River, a series of colorful sword shadows appeared behind him, and an endless stream of sword marks appeared, following Yi Qing. It caused a burst of exclamation from the surrounding professionals. What kind of skill is this? It's so cool. I estimate that this must be a high-level professional, alone and not in a team, and also has flying skills. I really want to hug my thighs. He's so handsome. I must feel safe teaming up with him. Don't think about it. That kind of Lone Ranger has a very cold and arrogant personality, which is not something ordinary people can relate to. Yi Qing flew on the river with his sword, and a little fox appeared on his shoulder, screaming in grievance. Yi Qing consoled him, "Okay, I won't let you into the pet space anymore." Xiaobai nodded happily, rubbed Yi Qing's cheek, and narrowed his eyes into a crescent shape. In the distance on the river, a big fish jumped up high. Yi Qing turned on the sword's heart, and a sword mark flew out from behind him, killing him instantly. Kill the level 20 fat-headed fish and gain 30 experience points. Experience is full, and you cannot gain experience before changing jobs. Store experience in the sign-in system. There is still 120,000 experience left, and you can sign in again. Countless sword marks appeared one after another behind the mighty sword, flying in all directions. The sword mark only caused 20% of Yi Qing's own attack, but it was enough to instantly kill these level 20 monsters. Kill the level 25 fish monster and gain 50 experience points. Kill level 20 angry carp and gain 35 experience points. A steady stream of prompts appeared. Although there is little experience, it is still okay. In the lower reaches of the Kanglan River, there was only one thing that Yi Qing was interested in, which was an item that could increase his luck attribute points. It is the boss in the first half of the stage, and only the 5-color koi can explode. But this boss has not been killed for so many years. The reason is that it will appear randomly in all locations across the Kanglan River. Yi Qing planned to search the lower reaches of the Kanglan River for a day, and forget about finding it. Or exclusive weapons are more important. A white bottle appeared in his hand, how about going underwater to play? Pour out 2 water-resisting pills from the bottle and throw one into your mouth. Feed the other one to Xiaobai. Stepping on the mighty sword, he rushed directly into the river. Yi Qing suddenly felt a sense of coolness and looked at the scene around him. Some fish were swimming around and the water plants were rippling randomly. In the distance, a team of professionals was fighting a monster, and it turned out to be an elite monster. There was a girl in red floating behind several professionals. She was only level 8. She is beautiful and passionate, shouting, "Come on," from behind. Yi Qing originally didn't want to meddle in other people's business, but the girl in red seemed to see Yi Qing and her eyes lit up. A series of bubbles appeared behind him, swimming towards Yi Qing. One of the professionals shouted anxiously, Miss Third, don't go far away, it's dangerous. Yi Qing didn't want to pay attention to her, and walked away with the mighty sword under his feet. Oops, wait a minute, that little fox is so cute, can you let me touch it? The girl in red shouted from behind. Yi Qing was silent. After he turned on the transparency of the sword's heart, his agility attribute was frighteningly high. Disappeared directly in place. HMPH. If you don't want to be touched, you won't be touched. Why are you running so fast? The girl in red returned to the professional team angrily. At another underwater location, Yi Qing looked behind him. Isn't that the third young lady of the Nangong family, Nangong Ru? It is said that he is an S-class professional Liang mage. Yi Qing caressed Xiaobai, a flash of memory flashed in his eyes. The student who obtained the nine-tailed fox in his previous life seemed to have joined the Nangong family in the end. As for what happens next, Yi Qing doesn't know. Sword marks flew out from behind, killing monsters continuously. At this moment, a crisp sound came from the properties panel. Your pet nine-tailed fox has been upgraded and is currently at level 1. All basic attributes plus 50, charm plus 100. Yi Qing looked at Xiaobai's upgraded attributes, which were too many. It is indeed a mythical pet. Next, not only must I get enough sign-in experience, but I must also bring the noobs to upgrade. The pet's level cannot exceed the owner's level. Xiaobai's eyes flashed and he controlled all the monsters in the river. After that, the sword marks began to be harvested, and the experience gained was very fast. Not long after, this large area of river water was dyed red with blood. The fishy smell of blood attracted countless densely packed monsters. Yi Qing held the evil mist sword in his hand, draw the sword technique. A bright sword light flew out. All monsters around were killed. Kill the angry carp, kill the river ghost, kill the crab demon. On the properties panel, a series of prompts appear. Not far away, everyone in a team of professionals stared wide-eyed. This man is too strong. He can kill so many monsters with just one sword. Yes, and it's an instant kill. The damage is so terrible. Someone stumbled and replied. Nangong's soft eyes were shining, looking at the handsome and calm figure in the distance, stepping on a broad sword. He has a spider-patterned mask on his face and a cute little fox on his shoulders. There was a tremor in my heart, pounding. A professional behind him said, Miss Third, that person looks like a Lone Ranger. Those professionals have strong combat power, but have weird personalities and are not gregarious. Yes, I guess this person is at least a level 50 professional, and he has SS level potential. Let's go back and investigate. This kind of strong man should have some reputation. Nangong Ru's eyes sparkled with stars. Let's level up first. We'll talk about it later. Yi Qing walked away with his sword and looked at the experience stored in the sign-in system. Sign-in system. 1.02 million, 1 million. You can already sign in. Yujian rushed out of the water and landed on a boulder. Start signing in. Sign in successfully and get a skill upgrade card. Skill upgrade card. You can designate any of your own skills for upgrade. The second skill upgrade requires 3 skill upgrade cards. That's true. It seems that the items obtained are not only occupations, but also various props. Maybe the things obtained by signing in are random. Yi Qing murmured to himself. I started to hesitate to use that skill. There are 3 innate skills: Sword Heart Transparency, Ancient Holy Body, and Power of Time and Space. There are also 2 special effect skills, Invincible Heart and 1 Sword Guanghan 19 Continents. Yi Qing hesitated slightly. Now that my lethality is definitely enough, I decided to increase the power of time and space. Whether to upgrade the power of time and space skills. Yes, upgrade successful. Power of time and space. The power of time and space in the soul is enhanced, and time pause can be used once a day for 60 seconds. 10 long-distance displacements can be sent to any location within 300 kilometers, which can be freely selected. You can change or hide all your own attributes at will, hide your own breath, and change your body shape and appearance. Cooling time 12 hours. Yi Qing looked at the greatly increased power of space and time. Time was paused for 60 seconds, and all formations were displaced by 300 kilometers. The cooling time was actually reduced to 12 hours. The fierce aura on his body was like a peerless sword, trying to pierce the sky. Using the power of time and space, his momentum suddenly disappeared, and Yi Qing stood there just like an ordinary professional. The little fox on the shoulder has the same aura as an ordinary pet, with nothing special about it. A phantom mirror appeared in Yi Qing's hand and he looked in the mirror. He is exactly the same as before he became a professional, but his eyes are full of vicissitudes and indifference. Like an old man, the little fox looked at himself curiously, and then barked, "Oh_oh." It seems that he is asking why his hair has become darker. Yi Qing snapped his fingers and changed Xiaobai back to his original form, but with some modified attributes. If someone else uses the detection technique, they will only see it. Mutated white fox. The mutated white fox has 9 tails and has no fighting power. It is suitable for ornamental pets. Yi Qing took his sword into the air and flew around the lower reaches of the Kanglan River, taking Xiaobai to level up by the way. Until dusk, the sky was filled with sunset glow, like a fire. At this time, Xiaobai had reached level 10. 9-tailed sky fox myth, can grow level 10. Basic attributes: strength, 600. Agility, 600. Intelligence, 700. Constitution, 600. Special attributes: charm, 1200. Lucky, 200. Talent, 9-tailed destiny. Skills: charm, phantom eyes, sky fox fire, sharing, loyalty. Passive skills: spiritual illusion, sun and moon technique, spirit fox body. Special effects skill: Qingqiu blessing, has 2 special effects, fox shadow and sky fox. Tianyu, can transform into human form, lasts for 10 minutes, during which all attributes are enhanced by 1000%, and the cooling time is 24 hours. Yi Qing took a look at Xiaobai's current attributes and saw that the sky fox special effect was turned on. Somewhat unexpectedly, I didn't expect to be able to transform into a human form. The key is that this little thing is female. Although I was a little bit hopeful, I still didn't let Xiaobai transform into a human form. After all, this skill can only be used once in 24 hours. Yi Qing looked at the beautiful sunset in the distance, reflected on the Kanglan River, looking magnificent. It seems that we can't find the colorful koi today. Let's go back. Other dungeons can stay overnight, but this Kanglan River is completely impossible, with no place to stay at all. Yi Qing stepped on the mighty sword and flew towards the entrance of Kanglan River. Below, countless small boats rowed towards the shore of the Kanglan River entrance. Today's harvest is really good. I broke out 7 pieces of rare equipment and made a lot of money. Old Lu, you were really lucky today, but it's a pity that I didn't even earn back the ticket money. There was a lot of noise. They are all talking about harvest. Not far away, a gorgeous white sailboat rowed quickly towards the outskirts of the Kanglan River. Suddenly, 5 colors of light appeared above the river. "Ah, what is that?" Nangong Ru exclaimed, pointing to the bottom of the river. A huge carp swims, with 5 color scales shining brightly, which is particularly beautiful. Is this the legendary 5-color koi? It is said that eating its meat can increase your luck attributes. Hurry up. There are hundreds of professionals here, and they will all be gone soon. The mage was reciting incantations, while some warriors took a waterproofing pill and jumped into the water. Surround the 5-color koi and launch an attack. Nangong's beautiful eyes flickered. It seems to be in a bad state. Please don't hurt it, please. The team of professionals at the rear are all eager to try. Even if you grab a little bit, selling it will bring huge profits, but without Nangong Ru's words, no one takes action. After hearing Nangong Ru's words, one person said, "There are so many of them, we can't stop them." The sunset gradually disappeared, and a bright sword light flew from the sky, drawing a beautiful arc. Yi Qing stood on the flying sword and looked at all the professionals below, attacking the 5-color koi. That's not right. Why did I remember that the 5-color koi seemed to appear a week later? Some things have all changed, and even Yi Qing is a little confused about the future direction. View the properties of the 5-color koi. 5-color koi, legendary, level 25. Blood volume, 81.1 million, weak state. Attack, 30, defense, 520. Skill, luck, it will resonate with some people and forcibly add 30 points of lucky attributes to that person. 5-color glow, dazzling, everyone will be stunned. lasting for 3 seconds, causing damage equal to 666% of the attack. Telepathy. Able to communicate with all races. Fish leaping over the Dragon Gate boss skill enters the Dragon state, attack power plus 300%, defense power plus 300%, duration 60 seconds, after use, enters a dying state. Seeing the weak state of the 5-color koi, Yi Qing frowned, as if he remembered something. So that's it. Everyone is besieging the 5-color koi. The 5-color koi didn't know why, but he just let these people beat him and didn't fight back at all. The defense is broken, attack quickly. Under the siege of hundreds of people, the blood volume of the 5-color koi dropped visibly to the naked eye. Nangong Ru, who was not far away, had tears in her eyes for some unknown reason. Shouting, "You guys, stop it. I am the third young lady of the Nangong family, and I tell you to stop." Under the temptation of huge interests, everyone has long been jealous. No one could hear her cry. The 5-color koi carp whined, and everyone seemed to hear some words. But no one cares anymore. At this moment, a bright beam of light fell from the sky, falling directly in front of the 5-color koi. "Go away, kid, or I'll kill you too. Get out of the way. Do you want to be buried here with the 5-color koi?" At this moment, a fireball hit Yi Qing. But it was shattered by a sword mark. "It seems that you really want to stop us. Let's kill him first and then the 5-color koi. Boy, since you don't know good from evil, don't blame us. I am determined to win the 5-color koi. Anyone who dares to stop me will die." Yi Qing looked indifferently at these professionals who were dazzled by profits. He touched Xiaobai gently. At this moment, all the professionals around found that they could not move. Yi Qing's voice was passionate. "You idiots, the 5-color koi clearly used telepathy and told everyone. There is danger coming here soon. I am just driving you away. I haven't taken any action from the beginning to the end." A small green bottle appeared in Yi Qing's hand, spraying out green smoke, which was the green leaf snake venom. It was just used in a different way by Yi Qing. Soon the poisonous mist filled the surrounding area. Only where Yi Qing was standing and where the 5-colored koi fish were behind him, there was no trace of poisonous mist. After a while, everyone's blood volume was lower than 20%. Still continuing to slide. "Let them go," Yi Qing said softly. All the professionals were in the poisonous mist, and their expressions changed greatly. "Don't say it is so noble, you are just coveting the 5-color koi. Yes, force us to leave so that you can monopolize the benefits." All the professionals took the antidote pills one after another, and there was endless scolding and ridicule. Yi Qing frowned slightly and said calmly, "It seems you really want to die. Do you want to do it again?" In the poisonous mist, all professionals were frightened. They were really scared. With that kind of control skill combined with the poisonous mist, if it happens again, you will really die. Some professionals have the intention to quit and leave directly. "Why are you running? He might have used some special props. I don't believe he still has them. Yes, if we all attack together, no matter how strong he is, he will still die." Several people in the crowd were clamoring. They stared at the 5-color koi and were unwilling to retreat like this. Just then, a white sailboat came. Nangong Ru stood on the bow of the boat, looking at everyone. "I have already informed the strong men of the Nangong family, they will arrive soon. Even if you grab the 5-color koi, can you take it with you?" When they heard about the Nangong family, these people stopped clamoring. Everyone left. Yi Qing turned to look at Nangong Ru. He originally wanted to kill a few people to establish his authority, but he didn't expect that her few words were not enough. At this moment, Yi Qing's attribute panel received a message. "You get the blessing effect of 5-color koi, plus 30 points of luck attribute." On the other side, Nangong Ru also looked happy, obviously she was also blessed. At this time, the 5-color koi only had 20% of its health left and looked extremely weak. His eyes were full of hope. Yi Qing heard a voice, "Thank you for your help, please come with me. I have something to give you. Know that this is the telepathy skill of the 5-color koi." On the other side, Nangong Ru took out a small bottle and poured it directly into the mouth of the 5-color koi. Life potion powder, restore 30% of HP within 20 seconds. Yi Qing looked at this scene. He was indeed a descendant of the Nangong family, and his family had a great business. He fed this medicine to the 5-color koi at will. Yi Qing had seen such a potion in the mall before, worth 500,000 Daxia coins. It is the cost of an average family for several years. The 5-color koi dived into the water, and a series of bubbles appeared behind it, quickly submerging into the river. Yi Qing quickly chased after him with his sword. Nanganru stamped her feet anxiously on the spot. Wait for me. The professional on the sailboat said, Miss Third, we probably can't catch up. Should we go back or wait here? Under the water, Yi Qing looked at the 5-color koi and asked, what happened in the upper reaches of the Kanglin River? The tide of beasts, a very powerful ferocious beast, led tens of thousands of monsters to charge over. The 5-color koi communicated with Yi Qing through telepathy. Yi Qing lowered his head and thought about the matter. It was most likely that some of his own actions had caused this series of problems. The hatching of the 9-tailed sky fox's eggs on the meteor plateau caused so much noise that all the big fox's eyes were attracted. Zhongbei City is now empty, and this beast wave is likely to be caused by some evil organizations. The egg of the 9-tailed sky fox in the previous life was hatched inside Zhongbei City. All the big forces were in Zhongbei City, and no organization dared to make any small moves. Yi Qing scratched his head helplessly. It seemed that it was still his fault. The 5-color koi swam in the opposite direction and jumped directly out of the river. At this time, the sky gradually darkens, and the 5-color glow illuminates the darkness. Nanganru was overjoyed and jumped directly onto the back of the 5-color koi. Everyone in the team of professionals at the rear looked solemn. Miss Third, you are following the colorful koi to an unknown place like this. If there is danger, let us follow you to protect you. Are you the opponents of the 5-color koi? Or the opponents of the masked man? If they have malicious intentions, it is useless for you to follow them. Nanganru said a few words, leaving several people speechless. The 5-color koi sank directly into the river, and a ball of 5-color glow quickly disappeared. A sword light rushed out. Half an hour later, the sky was completely dark. The 5-color koi carp drilled into a huge ravine very deep under the water. Stopping at a cave entrance, this is my cave. There are some items I have picked up over the years. You can take them all away. Yi Qing was not polite and rushed into the cave entrance with the mighty sword under his feet. There are water plants floating everywhere in the cave entrance, and a series of bubbles rise from the ground. It doesn't look dark inside, but very bright. Look at the top of the cave with a bead embedded in it. Night pearl purple. It absorbs sunlight during the day and releases light at night. It restores 10 blood points per second under the light. Continue forward deep into the cave. Arriving at the innermost part, Yi Qing raised his eyebrows and looked at all the items here. They are all shiny, a lot of crystals, gold and silver jewelry. These are not of much value. However, 2 of the items were actually shining with gold. It turned out to be a golden legend, a necklace and a staff. Just when Yi Qing was about to check out these 2 legendary items, a voice came from behind. I didn't expect this hole to be quite deep. I'm exhausted. Nanganru's face turned red and she was breathing heavily. She looked at all the items here without any greed at all. I thought there was something interesting, but this place is far worse than our Nangang family's treasure house. Yi Qing threw an advanced detection technique to Nanganru. Nanganru, level 7, 86% experience. Occupation, S-class flame mage. Yi Qing's mouth twitched slightly. He was wearing level 5 legendary equipment. This attribute was stronger than that of an average level 20 professional. No wonder I don't like the items here. Looking at the 2 legendary items in my hands, I suddenly felt bad. Starlight Staff legendary. Cloud Sky Necklace legendary, can be worn at level 20. Intelligence plus 180, Speed plus 180. Skill, Skylight, a dazzling light blooms when attacking. The attacker will be blinded for 1 second, and the cooling time is 30 seconds. I can't wear the staff myself, and I don't even bother to look at its attributes. This necklace has good properties, you can keep it. Not far away, Nanganru was flipping through a lot of items, holding a mask with a phoenix pattern in his hand. This one is good, the others are just a mess. She didn't even look at the golden ball the size of a human head, and continued to look for other items. 10 minutes later, Yi Qing found 3 pieces of Pink Lord equipment and put them away alone. Looking at the rest of the equipment, Yi Qing took out the Immortal Killing Gourd. Feed them all to the Immortal Killing Gourd. Nangongru has stopped looking for it a long time ago. She doesn't like these things at all. At this time, he was holding his chin with his hand and was in a daze, not knowing what he was thinking. Yi Qing's harvest this time was not bad. The repair value of the Immortal Killing Gourd increased a lot, reaching 1.23%. A flying sword appeared in front of him, and he was about to leave with the sword. Nangongru's eyes lit up and she came to Yi Qing. This, I also want to try, the feeling of flying on the sword. A pair of beautiful eyes flickered, looking straight at Yi Qing. Are you okay? Yi Qing was speechless for a while. This is really not possible, you should just walk by yourself. Just step on the flying sword and go away. He disappeared in a blink of an eye. Nangongru stomped her feet. Humph. It's better for me to leave on my own. I won't pay attention to you from now on. When she came to the entrance of the cave, she found that Yi Qing had already disappeared. The 5-color koi used telepathy skills. I'll take you back. Thank you. The 5-color koi took Nangongru through the water quickly. When he just jumped out of the water, a terrifying momentum pressed down on him. Above the sky, a beautiful woman stepped on a giant dragon. The dragon's 2 green eyes looked directly at the 5-color koi. The beautiful woman clicked her tongue in surprise. I didn't expect that the legendary 5-color koi really exists, and it seems to get along well with Ruer. Nangongru waved her hand from below. Mom, I'm here, I'm fine, don't do anything. The giant dragon swooped down and came directly to the surface of the Kanglin River. Nangongru jumped directly onto the dragon's back. Tell me what happened before. When she heard something unusual happened in the upper reaches of the Kanglin River, the beautiful woman's expression changed drastically. The copy of Kanglanjong is one of the several big industries of the Nangong family, and there is no room for failure. She quickly called out to the dragon. Fly quickly towards the distance. At this time, the upper and lower reaches of the Kanglin River meet. A giant python that was tens of meters long led a dense crowd of monsters and charged into the formation crazily. In the darkness, a bright sword light flew towards him. Yi Qing stepped on the flying sword and looked at the monsters that continuously attacked the city defense formation. All are above level 30. View Python properties. Ghost Scale Python Legendary level 35. HP 1.65 million. Attack 450. Defense 510. Skills: Dark Body, Fatal Pounce, Death Fang. Dark Scale Madness boosts skill, lose all sanity and fall into a violent state, with defense reduced by 50% and attack increased by 65%. Yi Qing directly used the power of time and space to pass through the formation, and the evil mist sword flew out. Baby, please turn around. Illusion Sword Technique. The Dark Scale Python roared at Yi Qing and quickly killed him. The 16 flying swords slashed directly at the Nether Scale Python. Minus 1.5 million, critical hit minus 1.35 million. The additional damage of the sword light is only triggered for a period of time, and the level 35 legendary boost can kill instantly. Kill the Ghost Scale Python and gain 600,000 experience points. The 16 flying swords were like harvesting straw, and the sword shadows passed behind them, causing a 0.5 second dizziness effect. All monsters are killed instantly with one click. Yi Qing came to the corpse of the Silent Scale Python, and there were several items placed there. Without checking, he received it directly into the Immortal Killing Gourd. He is now at level 15. He used to have 800,000 experience points for killing the Death Spider. Now he only has 600,000 experience points for killing the level 35 legendary boss. Prompts appear continuously on the panel. Upgrade your pet 9-tailed fox. The Phantom Sword skill went into cooldown, and the Evil Mist sword flew back to Yi Qing's hand. The Art of Sword Drawing. A bright sword light shot into the sky. All the monsters around him were dead, and Yi Qing was holding the Immortal Killing Gourd in his hand. Receive. All the equipment flew up and entered the Immortal Killing Gourd. This is what Yi Qing discovered before. After the Immortal Killing Gourd's repair value reached 1.2%, it was able to automatically pick up equipment. However, it is not displayed on the Properties panel. At this time, Xiaobai has reached level 15 and can no longer gain experience. Its level cannot exceed Yi Qing. Yi Qing snapped his fingers and directly used the power of time and space to disappear. 10 minutes later, a giant dragon flew from a distance. Nandong Ru said in confusion, "Oh, I seem to have seen a ray of light shining just now. Why is there no one here? No, all the monsters here are dead. Look, the river below is dyed blood red, and there are densely packed monster corpses in the distance." The beautiful woman's face was full of shock. There was actually someone who directly eliminated the beast tide in such a short period of time. And among the beast tide, it is very likely that an extremely powerful monster was killed directly, which is incredible. Nandong Ru looked at the blood red in the distance, her face a little pale. "This is too cruel, I seem a little scared." "Silly boy, you still have a long way to go, and this kind of beast tide is only the smallest one." The giant dragon flew towards the entrance of the Kanglan River copy and disappeared into the darkness. Dozens of kilometers away, on a reef, a man in black robe was shaky and fell directly into the water. Blood floated on the river. Another man in black robes appeared on the rocks. "Trash, if you can't even do such a small thing well, what right do you have to live?" After speaking, he merged directly with the darkness. In a rental house in Zhongbei City, Yi Qing was sorting out his harvest. Netherscale Sword Legendary can be worn at level 35. Water Beast Core Legendary can make equipment. Blue Water Ring Lord can be worn at level 35. Some equipment that will be used in the future is temporarily stored in the Immortal Killing Gourd. Yi Qing directly fed all the remaining equipment to Immortal Killing Gourd. The repair value of Immortal Killing Gourd reaches 1.43%. Looking at the stars outside, Yi Qing took Xiaobai out of the room. Getting ready to eat something. In the shadow behind, a pair of eyes stared at Yi Qing, their eyes extremely cold. Jia, that's interesting. I didn't expect this kid to be so strong." Suddenly, he felt someone tap him on his shoulder. "Who?" The man quickly turned his head and looked. Yi Qing appeared behind him at some unknown time. His back felt cold and he looked at Yi Qing's original position. There was no one there. Then I felt dizzy and completely lost consciousness. Yi Qing looked at the man in black who fell to the ground and used the probing technique, but the result was, "This is a situation that will only occur if you exceed level 50. It seems that someone is targeting me. Could it be that he is from that evil organization again?" He directly grabbed the collar of the man in black who fell to the ground and disappeared directly from the spot. A dilapidated courtyard in the suburbs was the stronghold of the previous members of the Abyss Society. Yi Qing threw the man to the ground and checked his attributes. Shadow Destruction. Level 75. Occupation. Shadow Assassin. Question mark. Everything else is invisible. This person's level is much higher than Yi Qing's. A bottle appeared in Yi Qing's hand. This was itchy powder, a mutated product of the previously refined poison. Itch powder, blue, colorless and odorless. When inhaled, it can cause itching like scratching the heart and liver, with no harmful effects. Pour the whole bottle directly on the man in black. Yi Qing stood aside and waited quietly. After a while, he said, "Ha, it's itchy, it's so itchy." The skin of the man in black turned red visibly to the naked eye, and his whole body looked like a grilled prawn. "Who are you and why are you staring at me?" Yi Qing stroked the little fox and asked indifferently. I can't say, please kill me." Under Xiaobai's strong control, the man couldn't even bite open the poison sac hidden in his teeth. A wooden sword appeared in Yi Qing's hand and he wielded it directly. After slashing on this person, the man in black screamed and laughed at the same time, which looked particularly weird. In this quiet suburb, surrounded by darkness, it looked particularly eerie. Under this series of torture, the man's spirit almost collapsed, and he would cry and laugh sometimes. Yi Qing looked at it expressionlessly, and another small green bottle appeared in his hand. "Aren't you still willing to say it? It seems that the dosage will be increased." No, don't, I can't say this." The man in black had a pool of blood under his feet, but he was still laughing. Yi Qing snapped his fingers and said, "Excuse me." The man in black breathed a sigh of relief. "I am a member of the Abyss Society, and I was arranged to come here with the Beastmaster to investigate the situation." Beastmaster. Yi Qing guessed that the dark-scale python and a large group of monsters were controlled by the Beastmaster. "Where is your Beastmaster?" Are you hiding in Zhongbei City too? And how did you find me? He and I have always been at odds, and he was assassinated by me. As for why I found you, it's because I had tampered with the ghost scale python's core. One last question, and you're good to go. How did the members of the Abyss Society obtain their power? If I guess correctly, you should have been a living professional before. Yi Qing looked at the man in black, his eyes full of thoughts. Of course this is the power of some god in the abyss, he. Just when the man in black was about to say something, his body began to wither and turned into ashes within a few seconds. The little fox started to scream, as if it had seen something scary, and grabbed Yi Qing's collar with its two little paws. How is this possible? Yi Qing was a little surprised. He didn't expect that just by saying the name of the god, this person would disappear from the world. Start stroking the little fox's fur to calm it down. Yi Qing's expression became serious and he was lost in thought. This world is inherently unfair. The life profession and the combat profession are like a chasm. It is even said that some combat professionals simply look down on those professionals who have no fighting ability. There is a huge difference in the number of life professionals and combat professionals. Yi Qing fell into deep thought, remembering his past life, about 10 years later. The conflict between combat professionals and life professionals is almost irreconcilable, and conflicts occur every day. It seems that the driving force behind this is the god in this abyss. I no longer think about things that happened so long ago. There is still a big gap between me and the gods now. The main purpose at present is to improve strength. A ghostly scaled python core appeared in Yi Qing's hand, and he crushed it into pieces. Using the power of time and space, he returned directly to Zhongbei City, ate something briefly, and then returned to the rental house. The next morning, heading towards the Kanglanzhong dungeon, there is another thing that must be obtained there, an exclusive weapon. The entrance to the Kanglanzhong dungeon. The place is already as lively as ever, and everyone is talking about the five-color koi. Have you heard? That five-color koi is protected by the Nangong family. Yes, this kind of thing is not something we should expect in the first place. Yesterday we were really carried away by the benefits. So what if you kill the five-color koi? The entire Kanglan River belongs to the Nangong family. Can you take the harvest with you? At this moment, Yi Qing walked directly past here, ignoring everyone, and entered the dungeon. Some of the people who attacked the five-color koi yesterday saw Yi Qing. They gathered together, whispered, "He doesn't seem to be from the Nangong family. He dares to stop us. Enter the dungeon to teach him a lesson. But we can't seem to beat him. His strong control skills and special poisons are very powerful. I don't think he is very strong. How can such strong control skills be so large scale? It's definitely some kind of rare prop. As for the poison, we all take the antidote in advance. Then go get him. I couldn't stand him yesterday." Agree. +1. At this time, Yi Qing had already entered the Kanglan River dungeon, with the mighty sword under his feet. Flying quickly towards the distance, completely unaware of these things. But even if he knew it, he might not take it to heart. Soon we arrived at the boundary line of the Kanglan River, opposite the place where the beast tide was cleared yesterday. Directly use the power of time and space to cross the city defense formation and reach the upper reaches of the Kanglan River. There are no people here at all, and the upstream location is connected to the wilderness area, which is not accessible to ordinary professionals at all. Yi Qing, based on his past life memories, flew at high speed in a direction where the monster that dropped the exclusive weapon was located. In the upper reaches of the Kanglan River, the river is endless. At noon, it was extremely hot all around. Some huge monsters were fighting in the river. A large fish measuring more than 10 meters was swallowed directly by a larger turtle. In the air, a flying sword floated, and Yi Qing looked at the giant turtle, which was comparable to a small island. It took me half a day to find it. Lost an advanced detection technique. Sky-breaking giant turtle, legendary, level 65. Blood volume, 12 million. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Question mark, question mark, question mark. The giant turtle seemed to have discovered Yi Qing, but after just one glance, he planned to swim away. For it, such a person is too small, not enough to fit between the teeth. Instead of wasting time, it is better to catch a few big fish. Yi Qing looked at the full 12 million blood volume, which was a little difficult. Try it first. If it doesn't work, turn on the time pause. Recalling the past life, this Kanglan River's strongest boost collided with the city defense formation a few days later for unknown reasons. Finally, a strong man from the Nangong family emerged, controlled a blue dragon, and killed it effortlessly. All the unknown things in Yi Qing's heart were cleared up. If he didn't attract the attention of all the big forces to the meteoric plateau. But in Zhongbei City, what would the two Abyss Society members do if they wanted to make some noise? Among them, the man in black was good at assassinating, of course, assassinating various important figures, and during this time period, several important figures were assassinated one after another. There is also a Beast Master, whose level must not be lower than that of the man in black. It is definitely possible to control the giant turtle. The giant turtle is only level 60. After going through some changes in his mind, Yi Qing's heart instantly became clear. Turn on the clear heart of the sword and the ancient holy body. Time pauses. Baby, please turn around. Illusion sword technique. The evil mist sword flew out from his hand and split into 15 flying swords, which struck the giant turtle in succession. Minus 910,000, minus 820,000, times 16. The magic sword skills all around disappeared, and the giant turtle died completely. Yi Qing was dumbfounded at this kind of harm. Turn on the sword heart transparency and the ancient holy body, and your basic attack will increase by 2,500%. Afterwards, the magic sword technique increases the attack by 140%. Poison spider mask adds 25% skill damage. After all these increases, there is also the additional 500% attack of Immortal killing gourd. As well as the huge damage caused by the special effects of the sword light. Each attack has 4 additional levels of damage, which are 90%, 70%, 50%, and 30%. However, time pause still plays a huge role. A moving level 75 legendary boost and a non-moving level 75 legendary boost are completely different concepts. There might be some powerful skills, but with Yi Qing's defense and blood volume, there's a high chance that he would die in just one scratch. Kill the monster that is 60 levels higher than yourself and gain 6 million experience points. 6 million experience points are all included in the sign-in system. Yi Qing went directly to the body of the giant turtle and saw a long sword with a white plate and a red blade. Directly ignoring the golden legend. Eyes shining, exclusive weapons, weapons that can grow, weapons that can accompany you as you go on. The other equipment is all level 60, and I am still far away from level 60. Babel armor, legendary, wearable at level 60. Babel boots, legendary, wearable at level 60. Water beast core, legendary. Heart of the giant turtle, legendary, can make the best potions. Divine sword, Kai Shao white, can be worn at level 1. Introduction. The weapon of the legendary sword god. When the sword god slaughters the gods, it is contaminated with the blood of the gods and has unlimited potential for growth. Physical attack plus 500, all basic attributes plus 100. Skills, binding, you can identify the master with a drop of blood, and it is completely bound to the divine sword. Others cannot use it, and the durability can be restored by itself. Bloodthirsty. Every attack will cause a blood-sucking effect. The blood absorbed is 15% of the damage dealt. If the blood is full, the mana will be restored. Qishao sword chi. When wielding the Qishao sword chi will fly out, causing 150% damage. Change. You can change the size at will. When it becomes larger, the attack increases and the attack speed slows down. Sword spirit. Insufficient level. Killing gods. Insufficient rank. Demon blade. Insufficient level. Yi Qing looked at the attributes of the Scarlet Sky sword. It was only a level 1 piece of whiteboard equipment with such attributes. It is much stronger than the Evil Mist sword that is the level 15 Lord equipment that I use. He directly picked up the Qishao sword, and a drop of blood appeared on his finger. Binding successful. Yi Qing replaced the Evil Mist sword and equipped it with the Scarlet Sky sword. There is a feeling of blood connection in your hand. Big, big, big. The Scarlet Sky sword quickly grew in size, and soon became as big as the door panel, but in Yi Qing's hands, it was still light and airy. With a random wave, a red sword energy flew out and struck directly on the water. After more than 10 seconds, several big fish in 2 parts floated up one after another. Trying to control the sword, the red sky sword turned into red light, dragging the shadow of the sword behind him, flying towards the distance, and slashed out with one sword. Qi Xiao sword Qi was still effective and flew more than 10 meters further away. Yi Qing took back the scarlet sky sword and held it in his hand, small. The scarlet sky sword became smaller and smaller. Yi Qing took out the spider silk of the death spider from the immortal killing gourd and tied a knot on the hilt of the sword. Hang directly around the neck like a pendant. Yi Qing held the smaller scarlet sky sword in his hand. It can grow, but what is the growth method? Is it swallowing equipment again? Yi Qing carefully checked the attributes of the scarlet sky sword, and suddenly his eyes lit up. There is actually an experience bar. The red sky sword became normal size, and Yi Qing killed a few more big fish with his sword. These fish are all level 15 monsters. Kill the white crucian carp and gain 120 experience points with your exclusive weapon, the red sky sword. Red sky sword upgrade, physical attack plus 30, all basic attributes plus 20. Yi Qing watched as the attributes of the scarlet sky sword increased and it was also upgraded. I didn't expect this kind of upgrade method, but I don't know what method to use to upgrade the level. Yi Qing placed the evil mist sword next to the scarlet sky sword, thinking that the scarlet sky sword would swallow the evil mist sword, but the scarlet sky sword had no reaction at all. Okay, it seems like it's not about devouring equipment, so how do you increase the level? Yi Qing was a little confused. Forget it, the scarlet sky sword is bound anyway, let's study it slowly later. Upgrade the scarlet sky sword first. Yi Qing controlled the power of time and returned directly to the lower reaches of the Kanglin River. The upper reaches are too close to the wilderness, and the time pause has been used. It would be bad if there were some accidents. The lower reaches are within the city defense formation. Here it is a horizontal push, which is not difficult at all. Yi Qing stepped on the mighty sword, and the scarlet sky sword was killing monsters not far away. Kill the red carp and gain 65 experience points for your exclusive weapon, the red sky sword. Just when Yi Qing was leveling up the red sky sword, a group of people surrounded him unknowingly underwater. Chapter 31. The water surface stirred up turbulent waves, several figures emerged from the bottom of the river, and several small boats appeared on the water surface at some unknown time. These people were the ones who made the loudest noise yesterday when they killed the 5-color koi. Boy, you are a person with no background. No one from the Nangong family will protect you today. This will be your burial place. Don't you know how to put poison? Come on, let's put poison. Everyone, come out. Get rid of him quickly, I still have to buy equipment. There were figures everywhere on the surrounding river, dozens of them in total. These people all looked evil and held weapons in their hands. They were all staring at Yi Qing, as if they were about to take action at any time. Boy, be afraid. Call me grandpa a few times. If I'm in a bad mood, I might give you a treat. A bald man sneered, holding a bow and arrow in his hand, aiming directly at Yi Qing. If you obediently contribute all the things in the storage space and kowtow a few times to everyone like me, we might spare your life. Yi Qing stood on the mighty sword, his face extremely calm, and he said calmly, you seem to be in a hurry, are you in a hurry to die? No, he's going to poison him again. Let's attack quickly. All the long-range professionals attacked Yi Qing one after another. Thunder, flames, water balls, ice bullets, wind blades, arrows, all kinds of attacks were thrown at Yi Qing. Yi Qing's expression was calm. He swung out the Qishao sword in his hand, and a circular sword energy flew out. The art of sword drawing. Kill all these attacks. The sword energy rushed towards everyone. How is it possible that you have such strength? Who said he was just relying on props? I regret that I shouldn't have followed him. Several people who were close to Yi Qing were killed instantly. They fell into the river before they even had time to scream. Everyone was running around. No, don't kill me. The scarlet sky sword flew out, the illusion technique was activated, and 16 flying swords started the massacre. Yi Qing watched all this indifferently from a distance. Aren't you here to kill me? Why are you so scared when it's your turn to die? Countless sword energy raged around, extremely sharp. Soon everyone was completely dead, and no one could escape. Yi Qing stepped on the flying sword and looked at the river that was dyed red. He always said that he would not offend others unless they offend him. These people are just looking for death themselves. Holding the immortal killing gourd in his hand, he put away all the equipment of these people. Then it turned into a sword light, and the sword flew away. At dusk, Yi Qing was still killing monsters in the Kanglan River, and the red sky sword finally reached level 15. At this time, the attributes of the Scarlet Sky Sword have increased much more than at the beginning. Divine Sword, Kai Shao White can be worn at level 15. Physical attack plus 950, all basic attributes plus 400. Skills, Binding, Bloodlust, Qi Shao Sword Qi, Change, Sword Spirit, God Killing, Demon Blade. At this time, the blade of the Scarlet Sky Sword became even redder, and Yi Qing made the Scarlet Sky Sword smaller. Hang it casually around your neck. The properties of the Scarlet Sky Sword are now stronger than those of ordinary level 40 legendary weapons. Leave the Kanglanjong instance and return to the rental house. Sit at the table with a blank piece of paper and look at it. This is Yi Qing's short-term plan. After rebirth, I feel a little too nervous. Now my strength is at a bottleneck. I will take a day off tomorrow. Register for the college entrance examination the day after tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, the first round of the college entrance examination will be in Zhongbei City and last for 2 days. The second round is going to Tianan City, the capital of Tianan Province, and will last for 3 days. The last round was in the imperial capital of Daxia and lasted for 5 days. Yi Qing looked at the time for the college entrance examination. It's really troublesome. It actually takes 10 days, and it takes about half a month including the distance. Open the sign-in system, 106.32 million. With 6 opportunities to sign in, it is almost impossible to complete the job transfer task in a short period of time. I can only sign in. Sign in 3 times in a row. Sign in successfully and obtain the sub-professional array mage. Sign in successfully and get the best strengthening stone times 5. Sign in successfully and get a skill upgrade card. Yi Qing looked at the items he got by signing in, and there was no pattern at all. Sub-professional array master. The soul power has been greatly enhanced, and it contains 7,895 different arrays. The best strengthening stone. It can strengthen equipment, and the success rate is more than 98% every time. Skill upgrade card. You can choose any of your own skills to upgrade. Yi Qing clicked to sign in again. Sign in successfully and get a wooden sword. Yi Qing's eyes widened. This is completely random and a wasted opportunity to sign in. Looking at the 2 remaining opportunities to sign in, I thought twice and decided to keep it. I ran out of luck today. He took out the best strengthening stone and touched Xiaobai's soft little paws. 98% is still a little unstable, please lend me some luck. Strengthen the Red Sky Sword. Strengthening success times 5. Red Sky Sword physical attack plus 200, additional entries, skill damage 5%. Yi Qing was very satisfied and took out the scroll of the Array Master Sub-Professional Profession. Use directly. Suddenly, a huge amount of memories flooded into my mind. Yi Qing was dazzled when he saw various formations, including the God-Slaying Formation, the Blood Demon Formation, the Mad Poison Formation, and the Jodian Star Fighting Formation. When Yi Qing saw various sword formations, his eyes lit up. Sankai Sword Formation, Bagua Sword Formation, Zhugong Sword Formation, Zushan Sword Formation. The key is that you can use these yourself. Although there are not that many swords to control, when the magic sword technique is activated, there are a full 16 swords. It's just that this kind of mental control is relatively strict and requires a lot of practice. Yi Qing picked up the skill upgrade card and considered upgrading that skill. There are now 4 choices: the sword heart is transparent, the ancient holy body, and 2 special effects skills. In the end, Yi Qing chose to upgrade the special effects skill of Yijian Guang Han 19 continents. The key is that the 2 skills of Sword Mark and Sword Light are completely cost-free, have no cooldown and are very practical. Whether to upgrade the skills of Yijian Guang Han 19 continents. Upgrade successful. 1 Sword of Light in 19 continents, special skills. There is no consumption, and it has 2 special effects, Sword Light and Sword Marks. Sword Marks. The movement speed is increased by 80%, 10 sword marks appear under the feet when walking, and 10 sword marks are obtained per second in the sword-wielding state. The sword marks can transform into entities, causing 30% damage to the target. They will actively lock onto the target and attack. When there is no target, they will follow behind them. There is no upper limit on the number. Sword light. The attack speed is increased by 80%. When attacking an enemy with the sword, 5 sword lights are produced, and the additional damage is 120%, 90%, 70%, 50%, and 30% of the damage. Yi Qing looked at the improvement, especially the sword marks, which were in constant quantity and without consumption. When used in conjunction with the formation, the group attack will be invincible. As for the sword light, it can add 5 levels of damage, which means that Yi Qing can deal 1 million damage in one blow. The actual damage is 1 million, 1.2 million, 900,000, 700,000, 500,000, and 300,000. The additional damage caused by the sword light is extremely shocking. At this moment, the cell phone in Yi Qing's pocket suddenly rang. Yi Qing took out his cell phone, and it turned out to be a call from Lu He, the admissions teacher at Kyoto University and the future wise sage. Connected directly. Beep, beep, beep. Hey, Yi Qing, I'm Lu He, where are you now? Is something wrong? The day after tomorrow is to sign up. What level are you at? Level 15. There was silence on the other side of the phone for a moment, and then Lu He's shocked voice came, What, it's level 15, how could it be so fast? Tomorrow morning, come to the hotel where we last met. I have something to ask you. Yi Qing hung up the phone, a little confused. In fact, most students now are in grades 6 and 7. Some people with backgrounds are only level 8 or 9. For example, Nangong Ru, whom Yi Qing met before, was backed by the Nangong family and should only be at level 9 now. Check some messages on your phone. Jiangnan Provincial Professionals Association spends large sums of money to invite auxiliary professionals. An SSS level professional awakened in Shangyan City. He is now at level 10. He said that he must be the top scorer in this year's college entrance examination. The National Games copy will be opened in half a year. A new level 200 legendary copy has appeared near the Magic City, and Chu Tian, one of the 10 war gods of Great Sha, has entered it. Yi Qing turned off his phone. These things had not changed at all. On a summer night, the breeze blows the willows. Under the big tree, Yi Qing was eating and looking at the people passing by on the street from time to time. However, passers-by turned around frequently, looking at Yi Qing and the little fox on the table from time to time. Wow, so cute 3. Let's go, it's just an ornamental pet. I'll buy you 1, no, 2. A couple walked past Yi Qing, laughing and playing. Yi Qing didn't care. After eating and drinking, he paid the bill. Returned to the rental house. The next morning, dawn broke. Yi Qing walked out. He wanted to see what Lu He wanted to do with him. When I came to the hotel, I looked from a distance. Lu He stood there with a girl in a white dress. Lu He waved, here. Yi Qing walked forward and saw that Marong Shui was here. Marong Shui had a cold temperament, like iceberg snow lotus, but when Yi Qing looked over, there was an imperceptible blush on his face. I've booked a private room, let's go in. Lu He adjusted his glasses and said. The 3 of them entered the hotel private room and sat down one after another. The waiter served a variety of delicious dishes one after another, and after all the dishes were served, Liu He set up a silence circle here. I hope you can cooperate with me in this college entrance examination. Yi Qing just ate without any reaction, and fed Xiaobai some food from time to time. I'm used to being alone and won't cooperate with anyone. Lu He had already expected Yi Qing's words. What I mean by cooperation is that you just don't attack each other in the secret trial realm. He had nothing to worry about Yi Qing, but Marong Shui was scared by monsters when she was a child. Facing the monster, she was a little afraid to take action. Although she was relieved now, she was still not decisive enough. Yi Qing nodded. That's okay, but what is the format of the college entrance examination? The morning of the first day is a simple written test. After that, the first round of the college entrance examination will be entered into a limited time copy, which is only open for 36 hours each year. In the dungeon, a full live broadcast will be used to ensure that no one can use too powerful props. Lu He introduced the process of the first round of college entrance examination. He attached great importance to these 2 students. If you want to enter the second round, only the top 10 students in the limited time copy can participate, and all other students will be eliminated. The first 100 students who are eliminated can enter second-rate universities, while the remaining ones can only enter third-rate universities or join various forces. Yi Qing listened carefully. He did not participate in the college entrance examination in his previous life, but he was watching the live broadcast. In the previous life, Mirong Shui was undoubtedly the first, the second was Nangong Ru, and the third was Situ Feng. But this time, he will definitely be the first. Mirong Shui secretly looked at Yi Qing from time to time. Although she had some questions, she did not ask them in the end. Lu He continued, as for the rules of the third round, there is still a third round. I will follow you to Tiananmen and Kyoto later, and I will tell you then. Yi Qing nodded. It's nothing, I'll leave first. If you need anything, call me on the phone. Lu He nodded and activated the sound silencing array. Yi Qing left the hotel directly. Looking at Yi Qing's back, Mirong Shui asked curiously. Did he also get admitted to Kyoto University? Isn't Yi Qing a professional in life? Lu He shook his head slightly. He has awakened his second profession. It is a hidden profession, and its potential is not much worse than that of an SSS-level profession. Mirong Shui opened her mouth slightly and smiled. That's great. Why, I am interested in that boy. His personality is too withdrawn and he is not an easy person to get along with. Lu He said while eating. Mirong Shui's face instantly turned red as she recalled a scene a few years ago. At that time, as she was about to go home after school, she was spotted by a professional who was a beast master. She was forced directly into the alley, and everyone passing by turned a blind eye. In her most desperate moment, a young man took a steel bar and blew the professional into his anus. The professional was so focused on the pain that he even forgot to command the monster. She also escaped successfully, but for a long time afterwards, she fell into a nightmare, and that boy was the only light in her nightmare. And that young man was Yi Qing. In the square outside, Yi Qing was walking when he suddenly sneezed. What's going on? Is someone scolding me? Forget it, go to Yangxia Mountain to practice sword formation. Yi Qing touched the little fox's furry little head and strode towards Yangxia Mountain. There was a copy of the Situ family, and he and the Situ family had always been at odds. If you encounter Situ Feng, although you don't know how many times each item has left to use, it doesn't prevent you from killing him a few times. Arriving at the entrance to the Yangxia Mountain dungeon, the place was bustling with people, with professionals constantly shouting, forming teams, or selling equipment and materials. A poisonous spider mask appeared on Yi Qing's face and he walked straight towards the entrance of the dungeon. Although his appearance is a bit weird, it is nothing at all. Professionals dress up in various ways, but he is the most inconspicuous among the crowd. Arriving at the entrance to the Yangxia Mountain dungeon, there are still several level 50 professionals sitting here. Yi Qing directly bought the ticket and entered the Yangxia Mountain dungeon. There are towering trees everywhere, and slimes crawling leisurely on the ground. There are also green leaf snakes nestled in the trees. Yi Qing walked towards the top of the Yangxia Mountain dungeon. There were relatively few professionals around the ghost mist formation, which was more suitable for practicing the sword formation. At this moment, Yi Qing watched as the Wraith Spirit necklace suddenly flickered. A sneer appeared at the corner of his mouth, and he decided to wait. The skill of the Wraith necklace is Wraith. Yi Qing has only used it on one person so far, and that is Situ Feng. The Wraith necklace lights up, indicating that Situ Feng is in the Yangxia Mountain copy. It seems that this time it will be over. I originally wanted to end the college entrance examination and test you. Yi Qing checked the location of the resentment skill. It was not very far from here, about 10 kilometers away. He did not choose to use his sword, and jumped quickly on the big tree, rushing towards Situ Feng's position. Once on the hillside, a total of 12 level 50 professionals surrounded Situ Feng. These high-level professionals used their skills to continuously kill various monsters. Situ Feng sat on the chair, feeling depressed. That killer has forced me to be guarded around the clock like this. On the side, a middle-aged woman comforted her. There is nothing we can do about it. Your father is too domineering, but he is also doing it for your own good. Okay, it seems that after the college entrance examination, I will go to other cities to hide for a while. Situ Feng said helplessly. At this moment, a humanoid monster rushed from a distance and ran rampant. But after only showing his face for a moment, he quickly ran towards the woods. Several professionals are about to give chase. Situ Feng stood up quickly and shouted, "Don't chase, it's a trap by the killer." These level 50 professionals directly protected Situ Feng behind them and looked around vigilantly. At this moment, everyone here, including Situ Feng, was unable to move. No, this must be a legendary level control scroll. Master, who have you offended? This is a situation where you will never stop fighting. Situ Feng calmed down a little and shouted loudly, "Friend, let's talk about it. I can give you any money you want, no matter how much it is." At this moment, countless densely packed white flying swords flew towards here. All the professionals felt their minds go blank for a while. They could only attack these sword marks at will and watch their blood volume decrease rapidly until they disappeared. Situ Feng turned into a white light again and disappeared directly. Yi Qing stood in the distance and looked at these indifferently. He walked directly to these corpses and swallowed all the equipment dropped by the immortal killing gourd. Sensing Situ Feng's position, Yi Qing snapped his fingers, activated the power of time and space, and disappeared from the spot. 20 kilometers away, there is a dense jungle. Situ Feng's face was extremely pale and he was holding a completely damaged puppet in his hand. "It's over. It's all over this time. I've run out of times to kill the puppet." Looking at the monsters around him, a big white bird was hovering in the sky. On a big tree not far away, several green leaf snakes stared at him. Slimes were crawling around, but they would not attack actively, so they ignored Situ Feng. On the tree nearby, Yi Qing's figure appeared directly. He walked out directly, with a fierce aura that frightened all the monsters around him, and they quickly fled away into the distance. Situ Feng screamed and backed away. "Who are you? How could you find me so quickly? I'll give you whatever you want, don't kill me." At this moment, Yi Qing took off the poisonous spider mask on his face. When Situ Feng looked at Yi Qing's face, he said, "How is it possible? You are a loser. How can you be so strong as a mere living professional? I understand. You joined the Abyss Society and became a traitor to the human race, and that's why you gained this power." Seeing Situ Feng gradually sinking into madness, Yi Qing's eyes were still full of indifference. "Sorry, I don't want to talk nonsense anymore, let's send you on your way." A sword mark flew out from behind Yi Qing and shot directly into Situ Feng's heart. The moment Situ Feng died, there was still a look of shock and unwillingness in his eyes. Countless sword marks flew out together, directly cutting Situ Feng into pulp. The enemy from his previous life was completely dead at this moment, and Yi Qing looked ahead with some indifference. It seems that there is not much feeling of revenge, or the difference in strength is too big. Killing him by myself is like an ant. Walking to Situ Feng's body, a few pieces of equipment were scattered here. Yi Qing put them directly into the immortal killing gourd and was swallowed by the immortal killing gourd. After that, I walked towards the top of Yangxia Mountain, intending to practice the sword formation. In the wilderness area, Master, we have investigated, there is just an undiscovered copy. Situ Shu, the head of the Situ family, sat on a huge rock and listened to his subordinates' reports. Suddenly, Situ Shu felt a huge pain in his heart. He covered his heart and broke out in a cold sweat. "Master, are you okay?" A subordinate on the side was about to help him. "It's okay," Situ Shu scolded. Situ Shu took out 2 jade tablets from the storage space, one of which was filled with cracks. Tongxin Jade legend: people connected by blood will sense each other, and one of them will break, proving death. The moment it left the storage space, the jade plat completely turned into powder and floated in the air. "Who is it that killed Fenger? Go and investigate." "Yes, I'll go right away." The top of Yangxia Mountain is filled with ghostly mist. In the mist, there was a figure standing, unaffected at all. It was Yi Qing, looking at the sword marks flying high in the sky according to the trajectory in the distance, failed again. "You really can't deviate at all, otherwise the formation won't be activated." Yi Qing is practicing the 9 Palaces sword formation and the Bagua sword formation. 9 Palace sword array, blue. The sword array composed of 9 flying swords is extremely powerful. Within the sword array, the attack speed of the 9 flying swords is plus 30%, the attack power is plus 30, and the control effect is triggered. Bagua sword formation, purple, a sword formation composed of 8 flying swords. It is good at defense. In the formation, the damage received is reduced by 15%, and the own defense is increased by 20%, causing a counter-injury effect. Regarding the Situ family's affairs, Yi Qing was not at all panicked. Even if the Situ family directly surrounded Yangxia Mountain, it would not matter. Yi Qing found that the sword formation composed of sword marks was the best continuously. Although the lethality was greatly reduced and not as good as the phantom sword technique, it was better than the long-lasting one. The phantom sword technique lasts for a total of 8 seconds. Although the attack power is frighteningly high, it has a cooling time and consumes mana. You can use illusion sword technique when killing bosses. Normally, a sword array composed of sword marks is enough to clean up mobs. Suddenly a voice came, warning that a super strong person is coming to the dungeon. The dungeon is about to collapse. Please leave the dungeon immediately. Yi Qing frowned slightly. Are you here? Situ Shu, the head of the Situ family, a peak level 150 master of the 4th rank, and an S-level professional thunder mage. He is currently the strongest member of the Situ family that Yi Qing knows. Yi Qing didn't panic at all. The gap is still a bit huge, so we shouldn't fight head-on. Directly activate the power of time and space and disappear in place. The power of time and space ignores the dungeon rules and can directly travel through space and return to the rental house in Zhongbei City. Yi Qing's expression was a little gloomy. Although his growth rate had been astonishing, he was still a little unwilling. The first transfer is level 15, the second transfer is level 50, the third transfer is level 85, the fourth transfer is level 120, and the fifth transfer is level 150. And every time you change jobs, careers with different potentials will make a huge difference at the moment of job change. This is also the reason why all major forces attach great importance to SSS level professions. At the same time, in the copy of Yangxia Mountain, Situ Shu floated directly in the air, surrounded by countless terrifying purple electric lights. There are huge space cracks everywhere in the entire copy. A figure appeared behind Situ Shu. Master, after all, this is one of our Situ family's industries. We can make huge profits every year. You'd better quit. Situ Shu was in great pain. Who on earth dared to kill Fenger in Yangxia Mountain? If I find him, I will cut him into pieces. Catch all the people in the Yangxia Mountain copy. I want to interrogate them. Go quickly. Situ Shu directly exited the dungeon and sat at the entrance of the Yangxia Mountain dungeon. All the professionals around him shrank away from this terrifying momentum. Situ Shu's face was extremely gloomy. He could no longer make breakthroughs in his life. Restricted by S-level talent, he could only reach level 150 in his life. As long as he could do the limit-breaking mission, he would be completely in despair just by looking at it. That was an impossible task even if all the property of the Situ family was spent. All my efforts are devoted to my 2 sons. The eldest son Situ Yun is an SS-level professional and was admitted to Kyoto University last year. Although the second son Situ Feng is worse, he still has an S-level profession. If nothing unexpected happens in the future, the 2 of them will push the Situ family to a new level. Unexpectedly, someone in their own property killed his second son Situ Feng. At the entrance to the Yangxia Mountain dungeon, some professionals were trembling with fear, as if they were facing an abyss. They had no idea what was going on. They only saw the head of the Situ family sitting there, and many strong men from the Situ family rushed into Yangxia Mountain to arrest people. On this day, Yangxia Mountain was shaken, and Situ Feng, the second young master of the Situ family, was assassinated. Until late at night, Yangxia Mountain was still brightly lit, and the strong men of the Situ family were still using special props and special skills. After asking every professional in Yangxia, I gained nothing at the end of the day. At this time, Yi Qing was sleeping soundly in the rental house, which no one would have thought about. The next morning, Yi Qing simply washed himself. I walked out of the room, ate something, and walked towards Zhongbei City No. 2 Middle School. Today is the day to register for the college entrance examination. Arriving at the gate of Zhongbei No. 2 Middle School, we walked directly inside. Along the way, all the classmates glanced sideways. Ah, he is so handsome, but I don't think I have seen him before. The little fox on his shoulder is so cute. He should be a beast master. Not necessarily. Other professions can also keep pets. Yi Qing went directly to the principal's office and sat down here. Not long after, Wang Changsheng, the principal of No. 2 Middle School, entered the office and saw Yi Qing sitting here. Xiaoyi, you're here so early. I'll take you to register for the college entrance examination. Come with me. I'll take you to meet this year's professionals from No. 1 Middle School. Yi Qing followed, and the two came to a classroom. They are all professionals from No. 2 Middle School and have various professions. Among the crowd, Nangong Ru saw the little fox on Yi Qing's shoulder and opened her mouth wide. How is it possible, this? What's wrong? The girl next to Nangong Ru asked. Nangong Ru reacted for a moment. It's okay, it's nothing. Wang Changsheng introduced directly. This is Yi Qing, the new transfer student who will take the college entrance examination with you. The students around were confused. The college entrance examination is tomorrow. Why is there a transfer student here today? Could it be that he has a strong background? I don't know, I haven't heard of this person either. Yi Qing walked directly to the center of the hall and revealed his level 15. There was an uproar around him. What, he has reached level 15 so soon? Could it be that he is an SSS level professional? Impossible. I heard that Marong Shui from No. 1 Middle School is only level 10. It's impossible to be so fast. Okay, let me say a few words. Yi Qing, you can find a place to sit by yourself. Wang Changsheng interrupted everyone's discussion. Yi Qing randomly found a deserted corner and sat down. As expected, the principal of the No. 2 Middle School began to speak non-stop again. An hour later, okay, let me tell you about tomorrow's process. There will be a written test in the morning, asking some simple washing questions. In the afternoon, there will be a 36-hour trial. Everyone must be prepared. Now everyone fills in the form, name, occupation, these must be filled in, and the admission ticket will be issued to you later. There were a total of 20 professionals in No. 2 Middle School, and soon it was Yi Qing's turn. Name, Yi Qing, occupation, Sword Immortal. Age, 18. After filling in the specific information, Wang Changsheng walked out of the room with a stack of information. He knew most of the other students' professions. Checking Yi Qing's information directly, Sword Immortal, is this the name of the hidden profession? Not long after, I returned to the classroom with the admission ticket and distributed the admission ticket. Wang Changsheng said, okay, I won't talk nonsense. We will gather at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We must not be late. After that, he walked out of the classroom directly. Yi Qing casually put his admission ticket into his pocket and was about to walk out. Several teenagers surrounded Yi Qing. The leader was dressed in gorgeous clothes, and it looked like he came from an extraordinary family. Boy, what's your profession? I can't even see your attribute panel. Quickly show it for me to see. Yes, use a special prop to cover up the attribute panel and hide the occupation. I think you have found a senior professional to help you upgrade. Yi Qing looked at the few people calmly. Have you said enough? It's my turn now. A sneer curled up at the corner of his mouth. Such people are like flies, they can be found everywhere. But this is a school, and we can't kill people directly. A small green bottle appeared in Yi Qing's hand and he pulled out the stopper. A stream of mist spurted out directly. When Nangong Ru saw the bottle in Yi Qing's hand, she pulled her best friend and ran out of the classroom. It's poisonous, let's retreat. The leader surrounding Yi Qing shouted quickly. It's not poisonous. This is a school, not a dungeon, and my health has not dropped. Yi Qing sat directly on the desk and looked at these people with a faint smile, as well as the people watching the excitement. It's our first time meeting you. I'll give you a gift. Yi Qing put away the small bottle. What tricks are you playing? If you dare, let's go out and challenge you. Boss, something seems wrong with me. Ha ha ha. Why are you laughing? Am I that funny? Ha ha ha. It's itchy, it's so itchy, it's killing me. The few students who surrounded Yi Qing were most contaminated with itching powder. They took off their clothes and rolled on the ground. Itchy, ha 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 ha. Boy, you poisoned me, I will remember you, ha ha ha. The students who were farther away also kept scratching. I can't bear to watch this kind of scene. Yi Qing walked out directly. Please enjoy this gift slowly. The effect will disappear in 10 minutes. After that, he walked away. Outside the classroom, Nangong Ru looked at Yi Qing's back, and then at the miserable state of all the students in the classroom. It's okay, it's okay. I knew it wasn't simple. She recalled that 2 days ago, Yi Qing subdued a lot of professionals with poison alone, and she knew that the bottle Yi Qing took out was not simple. But I didn't expect it to be something like this. Wang Changsheng, who was sitting in the principal's office, heard a series of strange screams, followed by laughter. Those students are all thorny. They won't conflict with Yi Qing. He quickly left the principal's office and rushed towards the classroom. After arriving, he couldn't laugh or cry when he saw the scene in front of him. Everyone laughed, and the sound got louder and louder. A staff appeared in Wang Changsheng's hand, emitting a green light. Purification technique. Everyone stopped laughing, as if they were tired of laughing, and the corners of their mouths were twitching. Wang Changsheng said helplessly, Yi Qing has been admitted to Kyoto University a long time ago. He came to us just for a formality and to show his name. Don't mess with him casually if you have nothing to do. Why didn't you tell me earlier? We now know that he is not easy to mess with. Several people's mouth corners twitched and they said with sad faces. Yi Qing walked out of the No. 2 middle school gate. Where are we going today? Forget it, take a day off. Walking to the rental house, it was a peaceful day. After passing by in a hurry, Yi Qing rarely had a leisurely day. Early next morning, Zhongbei City No. 2 middle school, the school entrance is crowded with people. Today is the day for the college entrance examination for combat professionals. In the morning there was a written test, which covered some basic rules of secret realms and dungeons, as well as the weaknesses of common monsters. Yi Qing was sitting on the desk, feeling very confused. How could he know these things? The monsters on the test paper can all be killed with one sword. The written test scores accounted for only a small part of the college entrance examination scores, so Yi Qing just lay down on the table and fell asleep. In the classroom, everyone was busy writing, but Yi Qing was the only one who didn't fit in. It wasn't until noon that everyone handed in their test papers. Wang Changsheng looked through the test papers and saw the blank paper that Yi Qing had handed in directly. He was stunned for a moment, and then shook his head helplessly. For SSS-level professionals or hidden professions, these are not important at all. With that kind of terrifying lethality, there is no need to care about the monster's weaknesses. A bus stopped at the entrance of No. 2 middle school. Everyone was either afraid or hopeful. They all got on the bus and headed to the limited-time copy that was only opened once a year. Yi Qing sat by the window and looked at the busy traffic on the street. He was quite familiar with this limited-time copy. Although I did not take the college entrance examination in my previous life, this limited-time copy was broadcast live. The bus came to a rugged hill and stopped directly. A lot of people have gathered here, and Liu He is also among the crowd. Seeing Yi Qing arriving, he quickly waved his hand. Standing next to him was Mirong Shui. At this time, Mirong Shui frowned, obviously very nervous. Lin Kui came directly to the No. 2 middle school team. Yi Zi, maybe we are opponents this time, it will be interesting. Yi Qing nodded lightly, let's see what's going on first. The crowd was extremely noisy. I think Mirong Shui will be the first this time, but it's hard to say who the second place will be. I support Nangong Ru. He has the Nangong family behind him, and his equipment is top-notch. He may be able to compete with Mirong Shui. Okay, everyone, be quiet. On a big rock, the principals of several universities were standing there. Qin Mingyuan, the principal of No. 1 middle school, looked a little surprised when he saw Yi Qing among the crowd, but he didn't take it to heart. He said directly, let me tell you the rules. This time the Dailong Cave copy will be open for 36 hours. Everyone will be given a point bracelet and the entire process will be live broadcast. Killing monsters of the same level will earn you 1 point. Killing monsters that are 1 level higher than you will earn 5 points, and so on. Dailong Cave is rich in minerals. It's 1 point to dig out ordinary ores, 5 points to dig out high-grade ores, and 10 points to dig out rare ores. After the lecture, Qin Mingyuan walked directly to the back, and several other principals said some words of encouragement one after another. Yi Qing took the bracelet and put it on his hand directly. A number is displayed above, 0. Looking at the formation in the distance, everyone was queuing up and walking in directly. Regarding the possibility of mining, the students around were talking a lot. What, you can still mine? There was no such rule in previous years. This is a good thing. We can gain points without fighting desperately. I remember that the mineral resources here are quite rich. In the past few college entrance examinations, some people just fought and accidentally obtained a lot of high-grade ores. Yi Qing followed behind everyone, in another team. Lin Kui gave Yi Qing a thumbs up and entered the instance with a smile. Just when everyone entered the Dailong cave, above the formation, a huge light curtain appeared, divided into countless small grids, and every student who entered it was displayed on it. Next to the light curtain, all the students' names are on it. This is a ranking list. Not far from the light curtain, several university admissions teachers were sitting in a tent, looking at the light curtain in the distance. Lu He, it seems that Marong Shui has been dragged to Kyoto University by you. The burly teacher of Daxia Military Academy said with a smile. Lu He adjusted his glasses, smiled and nodded. Maybe there will be a bigger surprise, you guys will wait and see. Above the light curtain, all the college entrance examination students were randomly teleported to various locations in Longdong. At this time, Yi Qing was walking in a tunnel. The surroundings were not dark, but seemed very bright. Suddenly, the soil on the ground surged. 16 monsters emerged from the ground. They looked very strange. They were more than 1 meter long, somewhat similar to gray four-legged snakes, and their bodies were covered with scales. Yi Qing randomly threw an exploration technique. Earth Lizard. Level 15. Not even bothering to take action, he just took a step forward and sword marks flew out. All monsters are instantly killed. On Yi Qing's bracelet, there was a sudden change from 0 to 16. A monster of the same level. It's too slow to continue like this. Continuing to walk deeper into the Dailong cave, his eyes flashed as he thought about how to get more points. Everyone watched the live broadcast. Look, just 1 minute after entering, someone scored 16 points. Qin Mingyuan, the principal of No. 1 Middle School, looked at the grid where Yi Qing was located above the light curtain. I was shocked and didn't want to believe it. Isn't he a professional in life? How is it possible? Wang Changsheng, the principal of No. 2 Middle School, walked over with a smile. Have you ever heard of a second career? And Yi Qing is the only hidden career. You actually fired such a peerless genius. This is a big joke. Qin Mingyuan's face became even more ugly. Suddenly he thought of something and said with a trembling voice, could it be that Yi Qing who ranks first in the novice copy is him? Wang Changsheng smiled and nodded. Qin Mingyuan regretted it endlessly. If he had known earlier, he should not have fired Yi Qing just to befriend the Situ family. When a person with the only hidden profession grows up, let alone the Situ family, it is possible for him to become one of the 10 war gods of Great Sha. But thinking of Marong Shui, Qin Mingyuan felt a little relieved. Fortunately, Marong Shui invested in the SSS level profession in advance, otherwise we would have suffered a big loss this time. Among the copies, several students performed extremely well. As Yi Qing walked, there were countless white sword marks, and he killed all the monsters blocking his way without any effort. It feels like shopping, very relaxing. Marong Shui was surrounded by cold air, holding a blue staff, and killed monsters of the same level instantly. The flames around Nangongru were burning, and it was easy to kill monsters of the same level. The most ridiculous one among them is Lin Kui, who is riding the wild boar king and holding a spear in his hand. He ran rampant in Dailong Cave without giving a look, and actually broke through a stone wall and got a lot of rare ores. Several university teachers watching this scene kept laughing. Although this guy only has an S-level profession, he is interesting and I like it. The burly teacher from Daxia Military Academy laughed and looked at the light screen where Lin Kui was. Lu He, the surprise you are talking about, is this Yi Qing? What is his occupation? A female teacher from Shanghai University asked in a sweet voice. The only hidden profession is Sword Immortal. Lu He locked his eyes on Marong Shui and Yi Qing's live broadcast, and dense runes appeared on his glasses. An hour has passed at this time. Ranking list. First, Yi Qing, 345 points. Second, Lin Kui, 298 points. Third, Marong Shui, 280 points. Fourth, Nangongru, 266 points. Lin Kui was lucky and picked up some rare ores directly. However, the number of points was closely pursued by Murong, and his ranking would soon be unsustainable. Mr. Wang from Tian'an University looked at Lin Kui. Luck is also a part of strength. Let me see what your potential is. Yi Qing and Murong Shui were spotted by Lu He from Kyoto University, and Nangong Ru was from the Nangong family, so he didn't have the confidence to fight for them. He could only look at other students. In the dungeon, Yi Qing was walking in the Earth Dragon Cave, looking at the bottomless tunnel. He stroked the little fox on his shoulder and said, "Maybe it can be like this." Walking forward, a group of huge rats blocked Yi Qing's path. Gray Rock Rat, level 16. Xiaobai, charm them to mine. The little fox's eyes sparkled with light, and all the mice here immediately retreated. Not long after, various ores were held in his mouth and placed in front of Yi Qing. Yi Qing sat directly on the ground, 2 blue spirit fruits appeared in his hand, and gave one to the little fox. He nodded himself. This trial will take 36 hours, and it's still early. And the deeper you go, the higher the level of monsters. But this is the college entrance examination training, and there are a lot of people watching here, so there won't be any surprises. If there is an irresistible danger, the bracelet will teleport that person out of the limited time copy. Yi Qing watched as big rats kept holding rare ores in their mouths and placing them in front of him. The points on the bracelet increased rapidly. He directly blocked the dust on his body, stepped on the flying sword under his feet, flew close to the ground, and flew directly towards the depths of Dailong Cave. The gray rock rats followed directly behind, shouting continuously. Yi Qing used this method to find all the monsters he encountered along the way. After finding the ore, he would kill them with one sword. Kill all monsters instantly. The experience gained by these monsters is very little. If it were not for the college entrance examination, Yi Qing would not even be willing to take action. 12 hours later, it was already late at night. Yi Qing took out some food from the Immortal killing gourd and leaned on the stone behind him. The various branches of Dailong Cave are intertwined and the terrain is complex. I seem to have lost my way. Forget it, just keep moving forward. Outside the Dailong Cave instance, everyone camped directly here. Still watching the live broadcast, everyone was surprised when they saw the rankings. First, Yi Qing, 13,400 points. Second, Murong Shui, 2,100 points. Yi Qing has broken the record. I remember the last college entrance examination, the number 1 in Zhongbei City was only over 8,000. Yi Qing is strong enough, and his skills seem to be used without any loss at all. He has an endless stream of skills, and he also has the skills to control monsters. As expected, he should be the first one this time. Yes, but he is too low-key. Before the college entrance examination, his reputation was completely unknown. Now it is suddenly revealed that his second career is still a hidden career. All the teachers around were talking about Yi Qing, only a few teachers in know. One middle school and the principal Qin Mingyuan looked bitter. Yi Qing was originally from No. 1 middle school, but was expelled. This just proves that they are blind and cannot tell whether a student is good or bad. It was a huge blow to the entire No. 1 middle school. They can all predict the headlines in Zhongbei City tomorrow. The principal of Zhongbei No. 1 middle school is blind. In order to curry favor with the big family, he expels students who have hidden professions. At this moment, in the Dailong Cave copy, it began to tremble violently, and a large number of weaker monsters such as rock rats and lizards fled crazily. Yi Qing stood in the tunnel, looking into the depths of the Earth Dragon Cave, with sword marks beside him constantly killing monsters. It seems that the boss deep in the Dailong Cave has successfully advanced. In the previous life, it was because of this incident that the college entrance examination was temporarily suspended. But for Yi Qing, there is no problem at all. Dalongdong Booz is considered an advanced level. It's just a level 20 legendary boss, you can kill it instantly with one sword. Even without taking action himself, Xiaobai could kill it. The red sky sword appeared in Yi Qing's hand, and the sword's heart became bright. The evil mist sword is stepping on the foot, the sword is vertical and horizontal, the red sword energy is flying everywhere, and the Qishao sword cuts out the Qishao sword energy every time. A lot of low-level monsters died instantly. Sword marks continued to appear as Yi Qing killed all the way to the depths of Dailong Cave. What is Yi Qing doing? Is he crazy? Something seems to be wrong. Should we terminate the college entrance examination? It would be bad if there are casualties. All the teachers were looking at the grid where Yi Qing was, and the other students were retreating. At this moment, Lu He appeared directly in the air and looked at the light curtain. I thought to myself, are you finally going to show some strength? Yi Qing was hiding too deeply from beginning to end. Even he couldn't calculate Yi Qing's damage because they were all instant kills. On the big screen, Yi Qing was seen stepping on a purple flying sword, with a series of white sword lights flying around him in a regular pattern. A red flying sword flew among the monsters, and when it was swung at will, streaks of red sword energy flew out. Rushing forward quickly, like a harvester, Yi Qing's points were rising visibly above the light curtain. 14,000, 16,000, 20,000. All the teachers and principals watching the live broadcast were filled with disbelief. It turns out that he has never used his true strength, but he is so strong. I thought Mirang Shui's performance was impressive enough, but I didn't expect Yi Qing to look like he was about to kill him through the Earth Dragon Cave. No, you see, Yi Qing and Delongdong Booz encountered each other. That's a level 20 legendary boss. It's difficult for a team of hundreds of professionals to fight against it. Be ready for rescue at any time. Yi Qing must not let anything happen to him. Lu He also began to become nervous, and golden runes appeared under his feet, arranged regularly. This was a teleportation formation. The corner of his mouth curled up. I found a treasure this time. With Yi Qing's performance, even in the imperial capital, he will definitely not be overshadowed. Imperial University, the highest academic institution in Daxia, has children from all the top families in it. Lu He even saw someone wearing an epic suit, and just an A-level professional could crush an SS-level professional. However, in the later stages, the A-level level reaches the limit of 120, while the SS level can reach level 200. A huge gap will be reflected, which cannot be bridged by equipment. Based on Yi Qing's performance, Lu He speculated that even if there were SS-level professionals wearing epic suits, they would not be Yi Qing's opponent. In the deepest part of Dailong Cave, Yi Qing looked at the boss in front of him. It's more than 10 meters long, like a big gray lizard, with some bulges on its back. It should be growing wings. Earth Dragon Legend Level 20. Blood Volume 850,000. Yi Qing was a little bored and even yawned. I'm so sleepy, I'd better hurry up and go back to bed early. This attribute is not even comparable to that of the Death Demon Spider. The Scarlet Sky Sword returned to Yi Qing's hands. The Evil Mist Sword under Yi Qing's feet disappeared. Tiantian Footwork, the art of sword drawing. A dazzling sword energy rushed out and slashed directly towards the Earth Dragon. Trigger the sword shadow effect and stun the Earth Dragon for 0.5 seconds. The sword energy struck the Earth Dragon, and two damage numbers appeared. -490,000, -580,000. Instant kill. All the people watching outside opened their eyes wide. This is a student. Why do I feel more hurt than I am? It may be because of the use of natural skills. This kind of skill is extremely powerful, but it consumes a lot of energy and has a long cooldown time. Some of it takes several days to cool down. Even if you use your natural skills, they are still strong enough. This kind of damage is too explosive. A group of teachers analyzed Yi Qing's skills. Shocked in his heart, Wang Changsheng, the principal of No. 2 Middle School, smiled from ear to ear and deliberately walked up to Qin Mingyuan, the principal of No. 1 Middle School. He mocked, "You have lost such a powerful hidden profession. I have to say, I really want to thank you. Now his student status is in our No. 2 Middle School, and we are proud of it." Yi Qing looked at the Earth Dragon's body and picked up the fallen equipment. Earth Dragon Ring Legendary can be worn at level 20. Earth Beast Core Legendary. Thick Earth Shield Legendary. Suddenly a prompt appears in the Properties panel. Kill the legendary Earth Dragon and gain 600,000 experience points. Ding! Tulongdong Dungeon Booz was killed within 3 seconds, triggering a hidden dungeon, Ancient Ruins. All students in the Tulongdong Dungeon heard this prompt. They were all shocked. What? Tulongdong Dungeon Booz was instantly killed by someone. This. Could it be that the restlessness of the monster just now was caused by the boss of the Tulong Cave Dungeon, and then there was a fierce man who killed the boss instantly? All the professionals in the Tulongdong dungeon had expressions of horror and astonishment on their faces. Lin Kui rode on the back of the wild boar king, gnawing on an apple, and turned on his phone. No, I cleared the dungeon in the middle of the night. Alas, what's the hidden dungeon? Murong Shui Gujing Wubo's face also showed a rare look of surprise. The boss of Tulong Cave is definitely not weak. He was killed instantly. Who is he? At the entrance to the copy, everyone looked at each other. Things are beyond their control. Even teachers from 4 universities came here. A hidden copy has appeared. This is unexpected. Let's close the copy. It would be bad if someone has an accident. Wang Changsheng, the principal of No. 2 Middle School, said seriously. I agree. This is the college entrance examination. I don't want to see unnecessary casualties. Qin Mingyuan rarely disagreed with Wang Changsheng. Good men have to accept the test of blood. Death can only prove their incompetence. However, this is your Zhongbei city's matter and I can't interfere. The burly teacher of Daxia Military Academy said in a low voice. Lu He adjusted his glasses and said calmly, their bracelets don't seem to be damaged. They can leave the copy at any time. I suggest that the college entrance examination continue. We were so anxious that we didn't notice this. Let's continue with the college entrance examination. At this time, on the big screen, the scene of all the students was changing, from the tunnel to an ancient city. Yi Qing looked at the buildings around him, hints appearing in his eyes. Ancient ruins, the only hidden copy, the residence of the ancient ancestors, which was later infected by the plague, causing everyone to die and turn into poisonous corpses. There is an unknown secret hidden behind it. This is something that Yi Qing himself did not expect. This was not the case in his previous life. The boss of Tulong Cave in his previous life was besieged by everyone for an hour. In the end, Nangong Ru and Murong Shui joined forces, one used legendary items and the other used natural skills to directly kill the Earth Dragon. Even Yi Qing didn't know what was in the ancient ruins. Suddenly, there was a loud noise not far away. All other students appeared here. Is this a hidden dungeon? I heard that you can get huge benefits in the hidden dungeon. Yes. Everyone who walks out of the hidden dungeon will have their strength greatly enhanced. Among the crowd, Lin Kui saw Yi Qing standing here and ran over. Yi Zi, are you okay? Those monsters suddenly became angry. Yi Qing smiled calmly. Guess who killed the dungeon boss? Lin Kui's eyes widened. It can't be you. This is for you. Yi Qing took out the thick earth shield and handed it directly to Lin Kui. Lin Kui looked at the golden light. I'll go. Golden legend, this is too precious, you should keep it for yourself. I can't use it, and I'm not short of money now. Yi Qing said with a smile. Lin Kui put away his thick earth shield and kept these things in mind, secretly planning to be stronger in the future and repay the favor. Looking at Yi Qing, he said, why don't we form a team? I'm a little panicked about this dungeon. Yi Qing shook his head slightly. These are for you, please be careful. Give Lin Kui a few bottles of antidote, as well as some red blood fruits and blue spirit fruits. Yi Qing stepped on the flying sword and rushed directly towards the ancient ruins. Lin Kui was a little helpless. Zizi is still as withdrawn as ever. Forget it, I'll find someone else to form a team. A large number of students in the distance looked at the ancient ruins and said, although hidden dungeons have many benefits, they are definitely full of dangers. How about we go together? Murong Shui looked at the crowd, silently left the team, and moved forward alone. Others saw this scene and said, Murong Shui, you'd better not act rashly. It would be bad if you encounter danger. Murong Shui turned a deaf ear and directly entered a group of buildings and disappeared. In the outside world, on the big screen, every student's performance is in the eyes of these principals or teachers. Murong Shui is indeed a little impulsive. Her strength is not as good as Yi Qing's now. Forming a team is the best choice. Maybe it's the arrogance unique to SSS-level professionals. She doesn't want to be inferior to others. Yi Qing stepped on the evil mist sword and looked at the surrounding environment, including the dilapidated scene and black weeds growing all around. Among the weeds, there was a poisonous corpse crawling, munching on the weeds. Yi Qing threw an exploration technique. Poison corpse. Level 23. HP. 1500. Skills. Poison spray, infection, claws, bite. Introduction. The poisonous corpse is immortal and bears great pain every moment of its existence. The attributes are average. It seems that the final boss here may be similar to the Death Spider. Yi Qing murmured to himself. Sword marks flew out from behind him, instantly killing the poisonous corpse. Kill the poisonous corpse and gain 150 experience points. Although Yi Qing cannot gain experience now, he can save it in the sign-in system first. Sign-in system. 3.01 million, 1 million. Now I have accumulated 3 sign-in opportunities, but Yi Qing does not plan to use them for the time being because the randomness is too great. Stepping on the flying sword and walking through the ruins, this place is too huge, like an abandoned city. The dilapidated buildings all around were covered with moss and black weeds on the ground, and there was a strange smell. Yi Qing's nose twitched, and he knelt down and pulled out a piece of grass. It seems that not only the poisonous corpse is poisonous, but also the ruins are filled with chronic poisonous gas. Regarding the use of poisons, Yi Qing has the secondary profession of Death Poison Master and is very familiar with these poisons. Take out a white bottle from the Immortal gourd and pour out a white pill. Baihua pill, purple. After swallowing, it can cure all poisons and last for 1 hour. Yi Qing swallowed it in one gulp. This was something that was refined together with the itching powder before, but the itching powder was just a failed product. Looking at the scarlet sky sword floating in front of him, Yi Qing took out the death poison. The poison was quenched directly on the sword, and the originally red sword body faintly exuded a black energy. Suddenly there was a loud shout from the front, "Ah!" Yi Qing frowned slightly, stepped on the flying sword and quickly rose into the air, flying in that direction. Murong Shui sat directly on the ground. There was a tiny tooth mark on her flawless white ankle, and her bright red blood gradually turned black. In the distance, there is a small gray-white snake with blood-red pupils. It turned directly into a gray line and flew towards Murong Shui. Murong Shui muttered words, and suddenly the wind and snow started to fall around her. Every snowflake could cause damage. -276, -281. The little gray snake was smashed into pieces by the flying snow and died within a few seconds. This is the scary thing about SSS level professions. Murong Shui felt that her consciousness was a little blurry, and she was getting more and more poisoned. Suddenly, a white sword light flew from the sky. Yi Qing came to Murong Shui. Seeing Murong Shui's blood volume gradually decreasing, "For Lu He's sake, I will help you just once." Although he had nothing to do with Murong Shui, Lu He still helped him with many things. Yi Qing took out a Baihua pill and stuffed it into Murong Shui's mouth. Murong Shui looked at Yi Qing, her face gradually turned rosy. "Well, thank you very much." Yi Qing showed no reaction and said indifferently, "It's okay, then I'll leave." After saying that, he stepped on the flying sword and flew directly into the distance. Murong Shui looked at the direction Yi Qing left and became even more wary of the surrounding environment. It was too dangerous here. Yi Qing stepped on the flying sword and looked at the ruins under his feet, as well as some ordinary monsters in their 20s and 30s. Sword marks continued to fly out, and a series of prompts appeared on the attribute panel. Kill the poisonous zombie and gain 120 experience points. Kill the corpse snake and gain 150 experience points. Kill the ghoul and gain 350 experience points. Turning on the clear heart of the sword and ignoring the defensive sword marks is simply a magical skill to clear the map. Even if it is an elite monster, Yi Qing can directly control the sword marks to form a sword formation and kill it instantly. Time gradually passed and the sky gradually became brighter. Everyone has been in the instance for 19 hours. At 7 o'clock in the morning, cars one after another came from a distance. They are all parents of students who came to see the results of the college entrance examination. A fleet of luxury cars from the Nangong family was parked not far away. A majestic man got out of the car, followed by a beautiful woman. "I wonder how Ruer is doing. It's only 36 hours, how much hardship she has to endure." The beautiful woman said worriedly. "It doesn't matter, it's okay for her to suffer some hardships." The majestic man sighed. The two of them flew up directly and landed on the hillside in the distance. Looking at the huge light screen, the man frowned and looked at some teachers around him. "What's going on? There's something wrong with this copy. A teacher told me roughly what happened last night." That's what happened. Yi Qing killed the Delongdong boos with one sword and opened the hidden dungeon. However, the function of the bracelet is still there. As long as it is automatically turned on or the blood volume drops to 30%, it will be automatically transmitted, so the college entrance examination continues. Facing the head of the Nangong family, the teacher was under great pressure. Nangong Xiao, the head of the Nangong family, nodded. I didn't expect it to be like this. Yi Qing, who was not famous before, is a dragon lurking in the abyss, and he is about to soar into the sky. At this time, some people on the huge light screen had already been eliminated. There are still 38 people in the ancient ruins. The number 1 on the ranking list is still Yi Qing. First, Yi Qing, 190,000 points. Second, Mirong Shui, 21,000 points. The huge gap made everyone stunned. This Yi Qing is so powerful, he completely crushed Mirong Shui. In the copy, more and more people are being eliminated. It is impossible to fight against a poisonous zombie alone. It requires the cooperation of a team of more than 10 people to kill it. Only 3 people can kill the poison corpse alone. Mirong Shui can kill him with his powerful skills and talents, but it will take some time. And Nangong Ru, she relies entirely on the best equipment. There is also Yi Qing, who almost killed the hidden copy by himself. Everyone's eyes were focused on the 3 of them. In the ruins, Yi Qing looked around. There are only these monsters here, and it doesn't feel like they are worthy of a hidden copy. Yi Qing recalled the dungeon he had experienced before, the strange deserted village. Comparing the two, the monsters here were a bit too weak. After killing monsters all night, I didn't see the lord or the dungeon boss. At this time, Yi Qing was already close to the center of the ancient ruins, and green mist had begun to fill the place. The attributes of the surrounding monsters have also increased a bit. This is an area that other students dare not set foot on, which is why Yi Qing is unwilling to team up with Lin Kui. The Scarlet Sky Sword floated beside him, sword marks appeared one after another, following behind Yi Qing. It's so quiet here, not even a monster can be seen. Suddenly, Xiao Bai on Yi Qing's shoulder let out a soft cry, reminding Yi Qing that he was in danger. Yi Qing was suddenly startled and looked around. He also felt that something was wrong. Could it be that there are invisible monsters lurking around, but there is no movement in the sword marks? The sword marks can automatically lock the target. The green mist not far away shook, and dense sword marks rushed forward in an instant. However, halfway through the flight, it automatically turned back behind Yi Qing and lost its target again. Yi Qing's eyes gradually turned cold, and he turned on the sword heart transparency in the ancient holy body, and saw that the invincible heart had been stacked to 900 layers, as well as the immortal killing gourd. With these things, even if it is an epic monster, Yi Qing can definitely kill it with one sword. Hide and seek, I'll give you nowhere to hide. Yi Qing looked at the poisonous fog around him. These fogs seemed to be very effective. A bottle appeared in his hand, and he started to use the mist to make poison. Production failed. Production failed. After several consecutive failures, Yi Qing was not impatient at all, but he turned off 2 skills, otherwise the consumption would be too much. Now that I can't find the enemy, and the enemy dare not take action directly, now is the time to compete for patience. Continuous failures, exactly half an hour later. In the past half hour, the monster hidden in the dark appeared 7 times, but disappeared instantly as soon as it was locked by the sword mark. Production is successful. Evil Plague Poison obtained. Evil Plague Powder, green poisonous mist. After inhalation, the internal organs will gradually fester. It is highly contagious and will cause infection if touched. In the poisonous fog, the blood volume drops rapidly, reducing by 185 points per second, regardless of poison resistance. Seeing the properties of the poison, Yi Qing looked at the mist surrounding him and said, "Good thing, I have refined this poisonous mist to produce as much poison as possible." After the first success, the success rate becomes higher and higher. An hour later, the poisonous fog covering several kilometers was reduced by a quarter. 2 hours later, the poisonous mist almost disappeared, leaving only a small piece of green poisonous mist floating around at an extremely fast speed. Yi Qing threw a detection technique at the poisonous fog. Plague Ghost Lord, level 40. Blood volume, 450,000. Attack, 410. Defense, 230. Skill, Evil Mist. Create a poisonous mist with a huge range, which is extremely toxic. Instantaneous. Can move freely in the poisonous mist. Blood demonic poison, Lord skill, the speed is increased by 280%. The sharp claws contain terrible poison, and the blood volume is reduced by 280 points per second, and 0.1% causes the blood-sealing throat effect. When he saw the monster's boost skills, Yi Qing was filled with fear and turned on the sword heart transparency in the ancient holy body. The throat-sealing effect upon seeing blood is somewhat similar to the one-hit kill and instant death effects. They are effects that are rarely seen in normal times. As long as you encounter them, you will have a chance of dying. Even if the probability is only 0.1%, no one is willing to bet. However, against such speedy opponents, Xiaobai could not beat them. Xiaobai, control it. The little fox's eyes glowed with light, and the green poisonous mist stopped instantly. Stepping to the sky. The art of sword drawing. Minus 1.13 million, instant sale. Kill the plague ghost and gain 1.2 million experience points. The experience is okay, but the experience gained by Lord-level monsters is much less than that gained by Legend-level monsters. Sign-in system at this time, 4.98 million, 1 million. By simply killing a few monsters, you can get 5 chances to sign in. The plague ghost was killed with one sword, not even a body was left behind, it turned into blue smoke and drifted away. However, a few items were left in place. Yi Qing walked forward directly and checked the properties of the items. Blood Evil Sword Pink can be worn at level 40. Plague Core Powder can be used to forge equipment or make props. Putting away the 2 items, Yi Qing walked towards the depths of the ancient ruins. At this time, there are only 26 people left in the hidden copy, among the ancient ruins. A team composed of Lin Kui and other professionals. Murong Shui and Nangong Ru were both walking alone. On the huge light curtain outside, there were only 4 scenes left in the originally dense grid. At the entrance of the dungeon, Nangong Xiao, the head of the Nangong family, watched Yi Qing kill the plague ghost with one sword. With a look of shock on his face, he said, "This guy's profession is quite strong. This kind of attack power is so unbelievable, we have to try to win him over." The beautiful woman next to Nangong Xiao nodded slightly and said with a faint smile, "Maybe we can recruit a son-in-law." In the distance, a young man wearing glasses walked over. It was Lu He. "Don't even think about trying to win over you. Yi Qing has already been spotted by the old dean." What? When they heard what the old dean said, Nangong Xiao and his wife were shocked. Is that so? Then let's invest in him. Suddenly, someone in the distance shouted loudly, "Look, what is that?" Above the light curtain, Lin Kui's team was fighting a poisonous zombie. Suddenly, huge cracks appeared on the ground, and more than a dozen people in their team fell to the ground. The ground is full of strange plants, black and white flowers, big trees with shining stars, and piranha flowers with their big mouths. Just when they were still alert to their surroundings, their blood volume dropped rapidly, and the team was unconscious. Everyone's health dropped to 30%, their bracelets exploded, and these people teleported out of the copy. What's going on? I just took a few casual glances at the underground world, and why was it teleported out? Lin Kui looked puzzled. Several people around him also looked confused. On the hillside in the distance, Lu He adjusted his glasses and said, "It's not easy to hide the dungeon here." Nangong Xiao nodded. "There are all kinds of weird rules in the hidden copy. I have been to a dungeon before, and my level was directly reduced to level 50. If it weren't for good luck, I almost wouldn't be able to get out." Above the light curtain, there are only 3 large grids left. At this moment, a sudden change occurred, and the entire ancient ruins began to collapse. Plunge directly into the underworld. It collapsed rapidly from the outside, with huge cracks directly swallowing up all the dilapidated buildings. Nangong Ru made a quick decision and directly pressed the button on the bracelet and was teleported. The same goes for Murong Shui. Everyone was discussing, "I think this is the end of the college entrance examination. Everyone's rankings will not change even if it takes another 12 hours. I agree, but there seems to be another person in the copy. Force close the copy." Several principals in Zhongbei City all started to take action, and the large array on the ground shone with light. The light curtain in the distance disappeared directly. After a few minutes, the formation closed. Everyone was stunned. Yi Qing did not teleport out. Impossible. Logically speaking, everyone should be teleported out. Could it be that there was an accident? Wang Changsheng's face was serious. This was a limited time copy and could only be opened once a year. Even if Yi Qing is powerful and kills all the monsters, there won't be enough food in the dungeon. Everyone sighed. I'm so jealous of the talent. Why did such an accident happen? Lin Kui yelled, his eyes already red. It's impossible, I don't believe that nothing will happen to Yi Zi. When Murong Shui heard the news, she staggered and almost fell to the ground. Nandong Xiao also shook his head and sighed, it's a pity. If Yi Qing grows up, it is not impossible to become the 10 war gods of Great Sha. The calmest person in the audience was Lu He, with countless runes flashing on his glasses. I have always felt that Yi Qing is hiding very deep, and even I may not be his opponent. It's impossible for him to die. The worst he can do is wait for a year. Hearing this, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. It would be great if they could survive, so there would still be hope. Among the ancient ruins, Yi Qing looked at the broken bracelet. He made it himself. Various strange plants and silence all around. An old figure stood there in the distance, wearing a white coat and thick glasses, looking at Yi Qing with a strange smile. Yi Qing looked at the old man's message. Strange Doctor Epic Level 55. Blood Volume 65 million. Question mark question mark question mark. Question mark question mark question mark. There was only one epic boss left to change jobs, and there was no way Yi Qing would miss it. The strange doctor looked at Yi Qing and spoke directly, okay, very good, you killed the plague ghost, then you will replace it. You created that monster? Yi Qing asked. That's just one of my many failed products. It still has some uses. The strange doctor smiled and clapped his hands. Among the surrounding trees, monsters walked out one after another. There is a huge humanoid creature with pustules all over its body, which makes one's scalp numb just by looking at it. There are also some monsters made of pitch-black mucus that crawl behind, leaving a pool of mucus behind. More and more monsters are surrounding this place. Yi Qing did not check one by one, but just stared at the strange doctor. He holds the Qishao sword in his hand, ready to take action at any time. This was the first epic monster he had encountered, and its attributes could not be seen at all, so Yi Qing was extremely cautious. Quack, are you scared? Don't worry, I won't do anything to you now. You are too weak, and I don't even bother to do anything. The strange doctor's strange laughter filled the surrounding area. I want you to witness how I walked out of this small world and conquered the outside world. Yi Qing's eyes were a little horrified. The pursuit of the epic monster was really different. However, Yi Qing knew that it was impossible to succeed because he had always lived in Zhongbei City in his previous life and had never heard of this epic strange doctor. Now it's better to wait and see what this monster is going to do. Keep an eye on him and be careful not to destroy my experimental products. The strange doctor yelled at the monsters around him. He flew directly into the sky and reached a very high place. As if being blocked by something, the strange doctor looked almost crazy and hit the space barrier crazily. Why do I have to live in this dark place? Break it to me. Yi Qing watched the strange doctor continue to attack the space barrier without taking him to heart at all. Holding the red sky sword in his hand, he looked at the other monsters. I'd better send you on your way first. It won't hinder my decisive battle with the strange doctor. Plague Giant Legendary Level 40. Vicious Slug Legendary Level 40. Poisonous Corpse King Legendary Level 35. Dark Moon Ghost Tree Legendary Level 35. Yi Qing opened the sword heart translucency in the ancient holy body, and said softly, baby, please turn around. Bagua Sword Formation. 9 Palaces Sword Formation. Illusion Sword Technique. Tiantian Footwork. These monsters sensed danger and kept roaring at Yi Qing, while the plague giant rushed forward. The red sky sword split into 15 flying swords and turned into streaks of sword light. The shadow of the sword was dragged behind, slashing towards the plague giant. All the monsters fell into dizziness for an instant. Yi Qing now activates Baby Please Turn Around, and the damage is extremely high. The surrounding monsters were killed one by one instantly, and even the sword light effect was not triggered. Minus 5.6 million. Minus 11.2 million, crit minus 5.6 million. Yi Qing received a series of prompts: kill the plague giant and gain 2.5 million experience points. Kill the evil slug and gain 2.2 million experience points. Kill the poisonous corpse king and gain 1.65 million experience points. A series of prompts appeared, and this time, Yi Qing gained tens of millions of experience points. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.